Greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, Robert Meyer Burnett. I invite you to watch and listen to the Designing Hollywood podcast, brought to you by Martika Ibarra and the great, legendary Hollywood costume designer, Marilyn Vance. I am afforded the wonderful opportunity of co-hosting the show. If you are interested in the magic of Hollywood, the design of Hollywood, the clothes of Hollywood, watch the Designing Hollywood podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts from, or find the video version on YouTube. That's right, the Designing Hollywood podcast. Why would you ever want to miss it? Especially if you love the movies. Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, your master of fun and wonder, your viceroy of verisimilitude, your sommelier of sci-fi and cinema, your existential Mr. Rogers, and your pharaoh of physical media, Robert Meyer Burnett. And I am here with Let's Get Physical Media, episode number 81. But you know what? You want to spend your Sunday morning not just with me, but with your favorite German, my favorite German, let's face it, the world's favorite German. More popular than the new Italian Prime Minister, Mr. Dieter Bastian, all the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland. Dieter, how are you?
Rob, I'm feeling great because tomorrow is a holiday, so my weekend is a little bit longer than it usually is. And I can say, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Dieter here. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. And welcome to the B&B Motel, or Let's Get Physical Media. Well, physical media is the heart of the show, but we talk about other stuff. And let's talk about 3 words, Rob, that shook the internet this week, that were ushered like, yeah, sure, Ryan. You know, 3 words had the power to burst the internet almost.
And what were those words, Dieter?
The 2, Ryan and you, Jackman, are together in Deadpool 3. We're going to see Wolverine again. So let's hope for the best. But I'm still...
Sure, Ryan.
hoping, Rob, yeah, sure, Ryan. I hope they stick with the R-rated.
Oh, I think they are. I think Disney's they'll release it probably under the 20th Century Fox banner.
Yeah,
you know,
that would be great.
I think they won't be in a real MCU until the end of the movie, probably. But you never know. I'll tell you one thing: it's probably going to be a better and more funny movie than what we're going to be talking about today. Later.
Ooh, okay.
I'm just saying.
Just saying. And Rob, why don't we start with your topic?
The topic, the headline about whether or not you and I bought Thor: Love and Thunder. We're going to get to that.
Okay.
But I have sort of a philosophical question to throw your way about physical media. So, you know, I was watching this Mark Zuckerberg posted a video of the Metaverse where you could punch in like words, kind of like AI art is sweeping the internet, and you know, you punch in a few phrases or things, and suddenly you get an AI generated image back almost immediately. Very artistic and all that. And I've been thinking a lot about that. Well, Zuckerberg posted images this week of video, actual like animation, and you punch in a robot surfing, and it gives you an animated film, a bit of an animated film of a robot surfing. And I was thinking, you know, where does this end? Because technically, you could make an entire AI animated film just by sitting at your desk and punching in phrases. There's no animation involved. There's no human artistic endeavor involved. It's just what you've come up with. And it made me think about Wim Wenders' movie, Until the End of the World, a German film, which you can actually watch. Criterion released the 5-hour version of it on disc, which I have. I really like the movie. If you haven't seen the movie is basically, well, it's about a lot of things, but there's a machine in it that records your dreams, and then you can play them back when you're awake and watch them. And people it's very addictive to watch your dreams because suddenly, we can't remember our dreams, but now you have a record of your dreams that you can watch, and people become very addicted to this. Well, and I follow my logic here. So it got me thinking about movies and content and everything that we're watching. Young people today are moving away from movies, although Gen Z is watching more films. Movies themselves, even I have said we live in the post-cinema age. People are watching YouTube. People are making TikTok. Our civilization has gone more toward, we used to look outward for things, whether it was novels, theater, music. But now we're making ourselves the stars of our own lives, whether you're making TikTok videos, whether you're pontificating on YouTube like we are right now. And I often wondered that my favorite storytelling medium, which is cinema, does it have a place in the modern age? And a lot of people go, oh, well, Rob, people will always watch movies. That is true. But the thing about movies, part of the magic of the movies, was that you had to go and get them. You had to either go to a theater, and even in the home video era, people wax rhapsodic about going to Blockbuster. You used to, even when you rented a film, you would go somewhere. It was a family outing. You would discuss and debate what movies you were going to watch. There was a level of anticipation. You'd bring them home. You'd gather around the TV, and you'd put them in and watch them. And like people would go into different genre sections, horror, sci-fi, thriller. And maybe if you went into the little X-rated place, a little softcore pornography, whatever. I mean, but it was a ritual. And so when you watch the films, and this is only because look, I worked in home video from the time I was 13 to the time I was 20, and I worked in video stores from 1980 to 1988, and I went from selling, I was 13, 14, 15 years old, selling high-end VCRs to people. They were very expensive. And in Seattle at the time, I worked for a store called Video Space for a number of years, and we were a pretty high-end store. And one of the first video stores in the country was founded by Weston Nishimura, who later founded the VSDA lobby, the Video Software Dealers Association of America, that became quite a big deal. So I worked in home video and then I was a Laserdisc retailer at Silver Platters. Now, every movie is the same. Every movie has the same size thumbnail. When you go into a streaming service, it doesn't matter what the movie is. They're all the same. They're all on like an equal playing field. Like when we were growing up, and I think back to the summer of 1982, 40 years ago, we've just had E.T. in theaters. In the space of between May and July, you had Conan, you had The Road Warrior, you had E.T., you had The Thing, you had Blade Runner, you had Tron, you had Star Trek II and Poltergeist, which both Star Trek II and Poltergeist just re-released in 4K, 40-year-old movies. But now, there's no effort made. So content is content, whether you're going through YouTube videos or you're watching TikTok videos or on Instagram. Now Facebook and Instagram have reels. You can sit there for an hour and just go through those reels that are like 90 seconds long or whatever. And I realized that one of the things that I love about physical media is you still, even if Amazon drops them off or you order them from Zavvi or you order from Second Sight in the UK, there's still it's the last vestige of making movies special. When you buy something, you've ordered them, you've bought them, you have them. It's sort of totemic, I guess. You own these things, and I think because I've been buying physical media, I've literally been buying. This is the 42nd year that I've been buying physical media. The first year was 1980, and I've talked about it. My first thing I ever bought was the VHS tape from Meta before it had become Media, of Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween, and now I've got Halloween in
4K.
In 4K. Yeah, and I'm sitting there wondering, do movies still have a place in the world? Is there a level of speciality or, I was just telling you, so I've been rearranging my physical media collection for maybe the first time. I'm able to put, so I have five shelves. It's kind of like a C shape. You can walk, it's like a Criterion closet. You walk in the middle,
Ooh.
and there's 2 shelves on either side, and then there's a shelf in front of you. And each shelf has 750 discs on them, and they're full. And then when I was moving, one of those shelves kind of broke in half, and I repurposed the shelf so it faces me. And I broken out for the first time. I broke out my 4K discs, and I'm slowly going through it. I don't have all of them. I mean, I've probably got another 200 to alphabetize, but I've been putting all of them, putting all of them in so I can see them, so they're all kind of facing me, just so I have them, and I look at them, and puts a smile on my face. But the question I want to ask you is, are movies special? Do you feel the same way? Do you feel that in terms of physical media, part of the reason that you buy them is because they are still special to you, and it means something, even the crap that you buy?
Yeah, exactly.
No offense.
No, I totally get it, Rob. The cat in the box,
Yeah.
I would say so. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. But I remember, Rob, like you said, the VHS days when I walked with my dearest friend from one video store to the next because we wanted to get the new Friday the 13th. I believe it was Jason Lives, probably, until we got it in one VHS store. So to get something on physical media is still something special, especially when you put in the disc. You are more, I will not say focused, but you really decided, just didn't click through the content. Oh, I just have a look at this, and then the next one. So you really said, okay, now it's time to watch this kind of movie, or in the mood for that kind of movie, So I think they have still a place. But considering the AI that you told us about, would it be possible to make an animatic for a movie like this way?
Oh, it's funny that you ask that. Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
Now, okay, I will say this, because I've been doing this very thing. You can't yet get exactly what you want, because it doesn't, you never know what you're going to get. But
instead of just storyboarding, drawing everything.
I mean, the problem is you can't pick your angles. But if you want to create, like, if you have a sequence, like an action scene, a horror sequence or something, it's pretty effective. You can make these things and go like, oh, I mean, it doesn't even matter if it looks horrific. It's funny. So you can. But here's the thing. Here's again a philosophical question. If you type in something, is AI, I mean, really, the simple question is AI generated artwork real artwork? Does it have value? Or does true art have to come from, do we have to know that it comes from the human mind, human hands? Because already we use so much computer equipment to make art anyway. And philosophically, human beings did create the AI. But, in terms of the skill, there's people now that can create art that don't have the skill set. They don't understand color. They don't have the education. But we're going to live in a world, if 50 years from now, people will have grown up, people will be born into a world where AI art is already there. So they're not going to have these philosophical questions. It'll just exist. I don't know. By the way, here is, let me switch this over so you can get the live output. So here is my in-process 4K shelf. And as I said, yeah, you see that? Yeah. So these are all 4K or special edition things, but I've probably got another 200. Obviously, there's a shelf that goes behind this shelf that faces the other direction. This is the shelf that faces me, like the bookcases behind me. And I just wanted to have all my 4Ks facing me. I wanted to break them out anyway. So this is just the shelf that I've been working on, but you can kind of see one of the shelves opposite against the wall. there's a shelf that goes here that I took out. I slid it over because I have to because this shelf was the broken shelf. It doesn't have a base. It's not stable. So I'm gonna use duct tape and tape it in between so it'll be taped up next to against the shelf that goes behind it. So there you go. There's my ongoing. Do you see the Hunger Games Steelbook? Moi, yes you do. Yes, you do. The Hunger Games. Awesome. Come on, that's for you, buddy. That's for you. There's the Hunger Games. There is the Hunger Games Steelbook right next to the Howling. You know, there's all kinds of stuff there, but it's not everything. I keep having to make more room, but yeah. So I probably have. I mean, now that I've been going through my physical media collection, I wanted to cap it at 3,000, but I'm probably at about 3,700 discs.
So you're already over your own limit that you set yourself.
Hey man, you go to Bill Hunt's house. He's got like 25,000 discs. It's crazy. So, but I'm trying to, I'm trying to curate my 3,000 discs.
Ongoing.
I don't know, but that's why I think I collect physical media.
Should I start with the letter because we only have one for this week?
Fire it up.
Okay. And it is nice that someone wrote back to us because I said, you have to give us a little bit more instead of just saying, I went to the theater and saw 3D. And Ian, Pod Racing Palpatine, came back to us and he wrote, hello, last week Dieter mentioned that I had just got back from watching Jaws 3D but failed to comment on how good it was. Well, here goes. It looked and sounded amazing. Some great uses of the 3D, went to the pulpit of the Orca, great depth in crowd scenes, etc. What disappointed me the most was that they had replaced Dennis Quaid with a youngified version of Richard Dreyfuss and removed the whole SeaWorld plot and re-edited it into it was effectively 3 men in a boat. But I kid. It was a great experience and still one of the best movies ever made. And yes, I still jumped at a head-popping scene. It wasn't due to my poor timing of the event. It was due to the volume of that horrendous violin screech that accompanied it. Would I buy Jaws 3D on Blu-ray? Probably not. 3D doesn't seem to be popular here in the UK anymore. Still, I'm glad I got to experience this film. Great, Ian, that you got back to us with a little bit of a review of Jaws 3D, and I really would like to get that version on disc. That would be great.
I would too. It's a great 3D conversion. I thought it was great. Very funny, by the way. Awesome. Thanks for that funny bit about Jaws 3D. By the way, we have a super chat from a member of the channel.
Oh, nice.
Jeffrey Lindenblatt says, Lindenblatt says, he bought the Paramount Presents series of the George Powell War of the Worlds and When Worlds Collide set. This is the first one that was released.
The color timing.
Yeah. This was the first one that was released as a 4K Ultra without a regular Blu-ray. Didn't have the machine to play it. Why did they change the format? Well, we're seeing that more and more where they're not including Blu-rays with 4K discs. And I think that's mostly because people who are buying, War of the World, no, Tallulah, War of the Worlds has already come out on Blu-ray, both from Imprint and from Criterion. So it had never come out on 4K before. So they figured that they don't need to include a Blu-ray. The When Worlds Collide's on Blu-ray. But unfortunately, this is the kind of thinking that we're going to see more and more of, because if something's already been released on Blu-ray, unfortunately, that's kind of what happened to the special features for Lord of the Rings. They figured when they released the 4K sets, they didn't have to put the special features on, because if you wanted them, you could go buy them on the Blu-ray sets. So this is going to happen more and more. And also, the whole, no, Tallulah, the whole point of, sorry, someone's going, Rob, it's really unprofessional when your dogs bark. They're family. If they want to come in and bark and be a pain in the ass, I know it might be a problem. But that's just what's going to happen more and more and more is that 4K is selling a lot. And when you have a classic title like War of the Worlds, it's been released multiple times, especially in the last couple of years, in great packages. That Criterion disc is amazing. They figure people already have it. If you want to buy War of the Worlds, you didn't wait to buy it on 4K. Maybe some people did.
Yep.
But no Tallulahs. No.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I think unfortunately, that might not be a great answer. Tallulah.
Yeah.
So, stop barking.
And Rob, sure, Ryan brought a big smile to our faces. I always ask you about the box office, and we have a little movie called Smile that opened.
Oh, you know what? I didn't. No, Tallulah, you have to stop. She's not. I might have to kick her out of here, because she's not cooperating. Shh. Okay, she's going away. She knows I'm not paying attention to her. So here's where we are in terms of box office. Smile.
Yeah.
Check it out, bro. Smile. No, Tallulah. Smile. $22 million opening.
Ooh.
Which is incredibly respectable. Tallulah, I might have to get her out of here. No, Tallulah, you don't care that much about. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, Tallulah's being bitten by Sebastian. I got both of them.
Ooh.
I got both of them now. Sebastian has come up from behind. So yeah, Smile, $22 million. Can you believe that? $22 million.
Not bad. Not bad.
Not bad. So
Horror
let's see what it has.
Kicking.
Horror, especially low budget. What's amazing is the viability of low budget horror at the box office. So here's a $22 million opening for Paramount. Unlike other genre films during this lackluster time at the box office, Paramount's Smile isn't even beginning to frown this weekend. Paramount officially reports this morning, after we heard last night, that the Parker Finn directed. By the way, this is a debut. Parker Finn, He's going to have a really good Monday. Parker Finn directed and written horror pick had very strong Saturday of $8.6 million. That's now 4% up from Friday and previews. And it'll soar Smile to a $22 million opening. Worldwide, Smile made $36.5 million. Ooh. The pick only cost a reported $17 million before P&A. That's actually a lot more expensive than I thought it would be. So this is the first $20 million plus opening at the domestic box office since Bullet Train, which opened at $30 million during the first weekend of August. That's pretty amazing.
And it's not a day and date release that you can't watch it on Paramount Plus.
No, and this is really interesting. The question is asked on Deadline: how does it got a B- cinema score? How does a B- cinema score movie like Smile over-index on Saturday night when a starry film like Don't Worry, Darling, with the same grade, did not in its opening? One is a horror movie with a clearly defined demographic of 18 to 34 and multicultural audiences, and Paramount never lost sight of that in their marketing. While the Olivia Wilde-directed film was an art house movie conceived for upscale adults, but wound up attracting younger females, the Harry Styles fans, and neither crowd yielded enough heat coming out of the theater to propel the film's demand. Well, I would say this. One of the great things about horror is the simplicity of its concept. And I think that the idea of these smiling faces, how could you not be creeped out by that?
Yeah.
It's kind of like clowns, too. Clowns are inherently scary. Somebody just staring at you, smiling.
Don't do that, Rob. Don't do that.
I mean, Dieter, just smiling. I mean, you can, it's like...
That's creepy. That creeps me out. You're going into the panic zone again.
It works, man. And I think that, that's what horror... The funny thing about horror is, and I sort of learned this when I was growing up, I read a lot of horror novels. And when I would go to the bookstore and I would pick out a book to read, I would read the back, and whatever the concept had to get me. Intellectually, the concept had to be inherently interesting. I wasn't just going to read, there's a monster in the woods. Who gives a fuck? I don't care. But if you give me something weird and some kind of intellectually interesting concept, and the thing is perpetually smiling people, you look at that and you're like, oh fuck, I'm in. That's scary as fuck. And that's what you want from a horror movie. Everybody had to go see that. You watch that trailer and you're like, same with Paranormal Activity. With Paranormal Activity, everybody goes to sleep. And if there really are monsters in your closet, if you have a video camera set up in the middle of the night, your closet door just opens, people are in, man. People are in. And that's the key, I think, to find. Look at a movie like Barbarian. First of all, somebody's at the Airbnb that you already, and then you find a door that goes downstairs into a basement. What's in the basement? Uh-oh. I mean, it's the simplicity of the concepts are what make horror films work. And I think Smile, it doesn't surprise me that it scored $36 million.
For me, since you mentioned Paranormal Activity, one of the creepiest things of that movie was actually, like you said, the camera had that great placement that you could see down the floor, But one of the creepiest moments was just when she got out of bed and just stood there, and you see the timer on the recording, and the recording is 2 hours longer, and she just stood there, Nothing happened. That was that was creepy for me.
That's the best thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the best thing. By the way, we have a couple. Kevin has fired in. He's a member of the channel. Kevin, he says, "Have I seen Blonde yet?" Andrew Dominik's Marilyn Monroe movie that Ana de Armas is in.
Yeah.
If so, what are your thoughts? I felt there's enough factual information on Marilyn Monroe that they could have made a film based in reality. Well, of course, Blonde is based on Joyce Carol Oates' novel, and I think more. I don't necessarily think. First of all, I have not seen Blonde yet.
Me neither.
But I'm going to see it. But I've heard I've talked to a lot of people that have watched it, and the whole point is that it's more of a meditation on what the destruction of women at the hands of not just success and fame, but in terms of the horror a lot of women have to endure at the hands of men, the expectations of men, the expectations of society. I would equate it. I asked a friend of mine this. I don't know if you've ever seen Roman Polanski's movie Repulsion, but it's one of my favorite movies because it's about, Catherine Deneuve, this really beautiful woman. There's nowhere she can go in the world because she's so beautiful where men are not bothering her. Please come out with me, because, men see a beautiful woman and they project every fantasy they've ever had on that beautiful woman, which is, to me, horrific. I mean, if you're a woman on the receiving end of that, you might as well have a monster, imposing some kind of a men become creatures. And I've always wanted to do a modern updating of Repulsion, where a beautiful woman living in Hollywood, goes insane because she's never left alone. She can't go to the grocery store and go, buy fruit because somebody will always hit on her. She pulls up at a stop sign, somebody's going to roll down their window and try and get her attention. I think you could really do a great modern updating of Repulsion. And I asked my friend, I said, is Blonde kind of like Repulsion in a way? Does it touch on those? And he said, yeah, that's actually, it really kind of does. It's a different movie, but it does delve into those same ideas. So it's not really a biopic about Marilyn Monroe's life. It's more of a meditation on what happened to her, the tragedy of her life.
And you have to set aside some time for the movie, since it's almost 3 hours long.
Yeah. And I've heard it's just.
And Rob, did I understand it correctly? The movie is 4:3. Did I get that correct?
I don't know. You mean it's not a special widescreen edition?
No. But I don't know about it, Rob. I haven't seen the movie yet. Haven't seen the movie.
I'm gonna watch it though. I just haven't seen it.
Yep.
So what is next? We've read our letter.
I could go to. I could show some stuff. Just first, considering a little bit streaming, I watched the animated show Cyberpunk.
Oh, dude!
Edgerunner.
Okay, everybody has been asking me to watch that. How was it?
Yeah. Rob, first up, Arcane is really the one that soured me for the rest of the animes, because I had to adjust again, considering the animation of Cyberpunk Edgerunners. And I know the game, I played it a little, but it was in a worse state when I played the game. So the anime is good, but it didn't live up to the hype that it got for me.
Okay.
It's really bloody, which is always nice, which I expect from my anime. And the great thing is the season is rounded up, so the story is mostly finished. You don't get to left with a cliffhanger or something like that. So the story is completely told in that sense, and it is a nice companion piece to the game. You don't need to know the game, but it is a nice companion piece, especially for the people who know the game.
That's
and
cool.
Play the game, and it's great to know that the anime rejuvenated Cyberpunk, the game itself, considering sales and that more people are playing it again.
Oh, that's
after
good.
it's been fixed, with update over update over update. Because the start of Cyberpunk wasn't the best, and I myself have to get into it again. So it's a good anime, but don't expect it perhaps to be the best you've ever seen. Especially when it comes to animation, Arcane really is the new go-to place, and I had to adjust considering
you want to hear something
because
shocking?
It looked to me like an anime that could have been made even 10 years ago.
Well, that's good. I'm going to tell you something about animation that people are going to be shocked, and I'm going to say it right now. I really liked this week's episode of Star Trek Lower Decks when they went to Deep Space Nine. Look,
nice.
Look, any animated Star Trek other than the original isn't real because everyone knows animation isn't real, so it doesn't count. but I did like.
I haven't caught up. Oh,
yeah,
nice.
I did like it. It was a good episode.
So, considering Lower Decks, one or two picks here and there are driving with you.
Yeah, it's
okay. Okay. Nice.
Well,
yeah.
So what's next? What are we doing next?
Super chats, perhaps.
We got a few. Well, we don't have many. Stubble McShave says Robert Eggers and Bill Skarsgård are doing a remake of Nosferatu. Thoughts?
Ooh, I heard that. Yeah,
that could be cool. I mean, I think you could make a really good Nosferatu.
Yeah.
I don't know if they need to. Again, I'm kind of. We live in this reboot. I would really like. I mean, Nosferatu. Yeah. We go all the way back to the 20s. I love Nosferatu, but and I love the design. I mean, Reggie Nalder and Toby Hooper, Salem's Lot was pretty much Nosferatu. I love that. But again, do we need it? I mean, I'd much rather see something new. But hey, I think if Robert Eggers, he's one of my favorite filmmakers right now, I would watch it. 200 Watt Studio says, if you hate the exploitation of women in film, see a director exploit an actress for his fantasies. If you liked cuties, you'll love this, meaning the Marilyn Monroe movie. Yeah, I can imagine you not being wrong on that one. What can you do? Yeah, I mean, but I think, look, I think, look, you can't necessarily say that because it is based on a book written by a woman. So there is, I mean, I think it's a legitimate attempt to address certain issues,
Exactly.
So we're caught up there.
And speaking of movies I saw this week, Rob, you always talk about authorship. Has this movie authorship, and did they set out to do what they want to do? For me,
Yes.
This totally fits that description from you. I watched Rob. All my friends hate me, and
That's how I feel most of the time.
I expected a dark comedy. It is, Rob, but it has some paranoia horror vibes too that I didn't expect from the movie. I really recommend you buy it, but as far as I know it, you can watch it on Hulu in the States.
Okay.
So this is the UK one, and I think it is on Hulu in the States. Great movie.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer.
It's about you've seen the trailer. A birthday party for this guy here, and he gets the feeling something is off now. All my friends hate me, and it has a great final act. So really recommend it. Had a good good laugh, but I didn't expect the paranoia horror vibe that the movie came with. So really, this movie has authorship, like we always say.
That's all I care about.
For my taste. Yeah.
That's what I want to see. So what'd you buy, man?
Should I go?
Okay, let's answer the question. Did we buy? I mean, you're wearing the shirt. You're wearing merch, dude.
Yeah, the topic, Rob. The topic at hand.
I'm just going to answer the question immediately.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, I want to say this is the only movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that I hate. I hate this movie. And I loved Taika Waititi's Thor Ragnarok. I hate this movie. This movie could have been a great film, but it's a goof. It's just silly. You know, the idea of somebody renouncing the gods because of the death of their daughter could have been the basis of a really interesting film. And everything that happens in this movie, I really like. But the tone of it is this should have been. Now I understand not everything has to be serious. Ragnarok, you have the destruction of Asgard, and it's still amusing. This film makes Thor, for the most part, at first into a buffoon. Then he changes. But I know a lot of people will like this, and I understand what they're doing, but I feel that, you know, tonally, especially when you're dealing with sci-fi, fantasy, and horror, if you do not keep the tone consistent, you can torpedo anything that you want or anything that you're trying to achieve. And I feel this movie really kind of does that. The latter half of it is better than the first half, but I can't, when you first meet Thor and he's fighting with the Guardians of the Galaxy to save that Citadel, and the Citadel, because of his actions, comes crashing down around him. I'm like, that might have been funny in a Monty Python movie, but in a Thor film, it makes him incompetent. It makes him an idiot. He allowed the civilization's holy site to be destroyed. And I tuned out after that. And a lot of the movies, you're dealing with cancer and you're dealing with the death of a child. You could have made, and a lot of people have liked this movie. Oh, Rob, it's just a comedy or whatever. To me, this is what people think comic book movies are supposed to be, as opposed to being what they are. And one of the great things about the MCU is if you go back and you watch Winter Soldier, actually, if you take the Captain America trilogy and you watch it, and then you watch even the Thor movies, Thor 1 has a really interesting blending of comedic moments and seriousness. Yeah. And I think one of the things that I was always struck by in Kenneth Branagh's Thor was how it treads that line and it works. And I even thought Ragnarok, for as funny as it is, I can't stand comedy that is at the expense of the main character. I like comedy that's situational, but they betrayed the character of Thor in this. I mean, sure, halfway through he's more redeemed, but I bought this movie because I'm looking at, my little shelf of Blu-rays and 4K discs, and I'm like, I have every Marvel movie in 4K, even though people are like, well, Rob, a lot of those movies are just 2K versions blown up to 4K. I get it. I understand. But, I had to buy this. I had to buy it because I'm a completist, and I can't not have this Marvel movie. This is the 29th MCU film. I can't not have it in my collection. Yeah. And I have all the other 28. So what did you think? Did you buy it?
I haven't got mine yet, Rob, but I will. But for me, the topic was not only Thor, Love and Thunder, just in general, Rob. My buying habits, if I buy Cat in the Bags, I don't count Cat in the Bags where I don't know the movie. But just Thor, Love and Thunder, we went to the theater and we know we don't like the movie and still buy it. That is a habit, that perhaps I hope some time will change. Considering Jeepers Creepers Reborn, I saw it in theaters and it is trash, so I canceled my pre-order. So for once I was clever there. But one of our movies, Rob, Rise of Skywalker. I saw it in theaters. I know the movie is shit, and I bought it 2 times, Rob. Nevertheless, 2 times, because they got me with the with the member berry cover, from the Target edition, No, you got me there. Then they got me with the nice steel book,
Wow. Okay. Wow, dude.
So I know the movie, 3 disc, the movie is not good and you still buy it, Rob. That is a habit,
I
I don't talk about the Cat in the Box movies I don't know, I haven't seen. Just that we went to the theater, know the movie is not good, and still buy it, like Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. I the only copy of Rise of Skywalker I have is in the 4K box set, the complete box set. I have to tell you, the Rise of Skywalker to me might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's unbelievable to me. I think when people go back and they look back at, I mean, it is so god awful. Especially watching Andor, episode 4 of Andor was so good, and you go back and you watch Rise of. Now, I've never met J.J. Abrams. I'm sure he's a nice man, by all accounts. Maybe, I don't know, but his 5 science fiction movies: Star Trek Into Darkness, Super 8, Force Awakens. I know people like Force Awakens. Whatever, you can like Force Awakens if you want. And Rise of Skywalker are they're 5 of the worst science fiction films ever made, and both he literally destroyed 2 franchises with his films. And I understand people like them. No, you don't understand. You can like those movies, but the destruction they did to those franchises, the very DNA. You know what those movies are? They're the first time I've ever seen movies that actually, the same way that radiation damages our DNA and our chromosomes, his Star Trek movies and Star Wars movies literally damaged the DNA of those franchises. Damaged the DNA to the point where they can't even. Star Trek was so damaged they can't even get a Star Trek 4 movie from J.J. Abrams off the ground. How many different versions of it have they tried? They can't get it because it's metastasized. The radiation, the horrible damage J.J. Abrams has done to the Star Trek franchise has metastasized to the point where they can't even keep a director on it. I'll direct your new Star Trek movie. Oh, wait, until something better comes along, in which case I'm out. There's nobody in Hollywood that even wants to make a Star Trek movie with a decent cast. It's like, you got a Fantastic Four movie for me? I'll see you, Star Trek. I never would have thought that there would have been a time in my life to look at the franchise that I love so very much that nobody even wants to make that movie. They actively they don't want to make a Star Trek movie. How many people have come and gone from Noah Hawley, that chick that was going to direct the Star Trek movie? I mean, it is amazing to me that the powers that be and everybody can't. They can't, because J.J. Abrams has literally damaged the DNA of Star Trek. Nobody wants to make that. Nobody wants to make a Star Trek movie because there's no reason for any director to step up and make one other than taking the job. You cannot win. You cannot win working with Bad Robot making a Star Trek movie. It's just, and it's terrible. And look, there hasn't been a Star Wars movie since Rise of Skywalker. He wrecked the DNA. He wrecked the actual DNA of the franchise with it had a bunch of people that had nothing to do with Bad Robot and nothing to do with J.J. Abrams had to come in, like Tony Gilroy, come back, and make and do a Rogue Cassian Andor series, and then you've got Jon Favreau, who made Swingers and The Lion King, come back and fix Star Wars, and Dave Filoni, who came from animation. I mean, the fact that J.J. Abrams, I mean, he literally killed 2 franchises. Killed them. Other people had to come in. Anyway, man, okay. I don't know why I'm talking about that, but whatever.
And I have another example, Rob, where I did actually go the same route as you. Perhaps our people in the live chat still ask us, Bobby, Deeds, where is your copy of Jurassic World Dominion? And I got mine, Rob, but I only got it in this complete edition with all the 6 movies in 4K. So this is just not really special, but if you're looking for to save some place. It's just a cardboard, and you've got all 6 movies on Blu-ray and all 6 movies as a 4K, and this will be the only version I will own from Dominion. But the only thing, Rob, I watched it on Friday. I did quite enjoy the longer version a little bit better than the theatrical version.
Do you know how many Jurassic Park movies there are, Dieter? There's one.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe I'll give you the Lost World because Spielberg did direct it.
Yeah, give me the Lost World at least, Rob.
I'll give you the Lost. There's some cool shit in the Lost World, and I do like
because there was one character that was named Dieter, I believe, in the second one.
Wow.
I believe the hunter was called Dieter.
So
this, Rob, I didn't get separately, and I didn't see any copy of your Jurassic World Dominion. So this will be my only copy.
I only own no, that's not true. I own Blu-rays of the first 3 Jurassic Park movies, and I have Jurassic Park in 4K, and I have Jurassic Park. I have Jurassic Park in 3D. So I guess
for people, but for people who don't own the movies and want to own this is really just saving space. You get so this is actually 12 discs are in this set that doesn't take too much shelf space, you know. So, but for me, the extended cut was better than the theatrical version.
So we both bought Love and Thunder though. So let's
yeah, but mine will come later, Rob. All I got at this moment was this T-shirt, Rob.
I ordered Thor Love and Thunder, but all I got was this T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
This lousy T-shirt.
at this moment, Rob. At this moment.
Hey, what are you gonna do?
So. And the other thing, last week you asked me to look into it, and they are not out yet. But I just going from this one, Rob. No English subtitles, you know. No English subtitles on the movies you want. It just says German here on the cover. I will check this one.
No, there's no reason. There's no reason why you Krauts would put an English subtitle track on a Hong Kong film. God, look, Wong Kar-wai is one of my favorite filmmakers. You know, the Wong Kar-wai box set from Criterion has, you know, they've done some recuts and things like that. Color timing was, but whatever. I still love Wong Kar-wai. But In the Mood for Love, boy, do I want that in 4K. Give it to me. I want it now. Yes. So what else did you buy this week?
What else did I buy? What else did I get? You know, I'm a sucker for my shark slashers. I got the Reef, Rob. I got the Reef. For me, you know, the shark movies are just, I know no shark movie will ever touch Jaws. For me, they are just the equivalent to a slasher, you know? But on the sea. The shark stands for Jason or everything else. You know, you can even have a bright day and be scared. But the problem with this one, Rob, how many kills do you think are in this movie, Rob? If I go from a slasher perspective.
Well, I mean, I look at it this way. I will watch Jurassic Park movies because I believe that any movie that has dinosaurs eating copious amounts of people.
Yeah, exactly, Rob. Exactly.
I mean, shark movies exist because, one, watching sharks eat people is inherently entertaining.
Exactly.
And two, there's just a lot of people in the world that need to get eaten by sharks. Sharks are messy eaters. Sharks eat like my puppy Sebastian. Messy.
Yeah.
And when they finish eating, they got blood, you know, in their mouths and in their teeth. It's great. The
Rob,
Reef.
how many kills?
Do I have to guess?
Yeah, guess, Rob.
1.
A little bit more. No, Rob. Actually, you're not that wrong.
See, that's the thing.
2. You get 2, but 1 is not even attributed to the shark. You know? So, Rob, I got a shark slasher with just 1 kill and 1 injury. That's a little too less for me. But it had nice tension. It had scenes of nice tension. But you have to give me some carnage candy, like Cody Leach always said. So considering these two, Rob, the winner is Shark Bait, you know? the jet ski movie. Shark
Yeah,
Bait Attack.
which I mean, they took their cues from Jaws 2 with the
This
not
has
jet
more,
skiing, but you got water skiing.
yeah. This has better characters. This has more nicer carnage, But considering this movie, Rob, still made on the ocean, no green screen. From that perspective, it was nice. But come on, one kill only. That is a little bit too less for my taste, considering my shark sliver. So I got the Reef. The next one, Rob, which I would call, this is a fucking remake. God damn it. I got the Evil Dead, the 4K. Unfortunately, the same cover underneath it. And if you would have come to me, Rob, I'm not the director, if you see, hey, douchey douche, do you want to direct a remake of Evil Dead? I would have said, no, I'm not touching that cult movie. But this was, for me, a great remake of
I have to say, and somebody pointed out in the live chat that that's a 2K remaster. It's a 2K upgrade to 4.
Oh, okay.
But that happens all the time. I mean, movies, especially from the last 10 years, a lot of them were only finished at 2K. They were never mastered in 4K. And if they were shot digitally,
exactly, yeah,
in 2K, they can only be the only way you can get real true 4K masters is if the film was finished in 4K, which a lot of the times they're not, because visual effects take 6 times as long to render in 4K. And that's why I love photochemical. You go back to the original negative, and if that's why we're getting so many great remasters of things like Blade Runner and Die Hard and going back and getting these great, anything that was finished on film. And especially the real reason to go back and get a 4K remaster is if it's got HDR or Dolby Vision or an Atmos track or something. I mean, that's why you go back and do it. I mean, usually 4K stuff can look better, but what you want is, like, I don't necessarily need new movies in 4K unless they were truly mastered in 4K. But still, that's a great movie. I have to say, as far as remake goes, and I love the first Evil Dead. I'm a huge Evil Dead fan.
I would not have dared to touch that. I would not have dared to touch that to do a remake of it, because you can just be on the losing side of that. But it came through, and after that, our director Fede Alvarez made Don't Breathe, so he's on my radar now from this movie on.
Well, he did. Yeah, Don't Breathe was great.
Yeah, exactly. The next one, Cat in the Bag from the US, Freeman, Silent Fury. Looks cool.
Okay.
But haven't seen it. Hope it's good. Delivering hopefully some martial arts action. Silent Fury. Next one, 25th anniversary.
Are you a pre-man before you become a best man? Like, if you're the best man, so pre-men are the people that aren't quite your best man yet. They're pre-men because they haven't learned how to be a best man. I'm just asking.
I will see when I watch the movie. I didn't know when I did show the trilogy package that came from England, but I had to get this, and this one I believe will certainly have a 4K master. At least I hope so. I know what you did last summer, and this one comes underneath it with the original.
Oh, the original key art.
Cover.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that, buddy.
So you got both. I know what you did last summer. Let's go over to.
I wonder if there was the porn parody was I Know Who You Did Last Summer. I don't know if there was one, but hey, let's make it.
Let's make it. Let's go over to TIFF, the TIFF festival. Cat in the Bag. I watched it yesterday, but I had night shift drop and I was missing some sleep. I didn't finish the movie, so I have to get it back before I can make my judgment about it. But I totally love the title. Vengeance is mine, Rob. All others pay cash. It's an Indonesian movie. It comes from Arrow, Rob.
Nice.
So it comes with another cover beneath it. And it has a booklet about the movie too, but I have to watch it again to make my judgment, because I got a little sleepy yesterday when I started watching it. So hopefully I will get back to you next week with a clearer
By the way,
rating.
when we get to the news about what's coming out, there's a very special title coming out that you're going to be very happy about.
Oh, nice. Vengeance is mine, Rob. All others pay cash. Considering your prestigious Stitches Festival, you know, we're at Toronto, this one was a nice one that played in Stitches. A Spanish movie, Rob, called The Passenger. This is a German media book. Paolo Fu. This is a nice one, Rob. I don't want to give too much away. It's about a ride here in a van with people that are not family or something like this. It had nice practical effects, and actually,
is it a monster movie?
Look at that, Rob. You could be right. Let's just say it has some Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh, I'm in.
Type, you know, and it played at your favorite Stitches, or it premiered, I believe, at Stitches.
By the Stitches Festival should be starting either tonight
but
or tomorrow.
It's combined with funny elements, you know.
Nice.
So I really enjoyed it. So totally a recommendation from my end. The Passenger. It comes with as always, from Paolo Fu label with a poster. So The Passenger, Spanish movie, and another Spanish movie. This is the Spanish Blu-ray, which luckily, unlike the German titles, you know, has English subtitles. I stumbled across one of my website because it does come out in Germany, but it has a hefty price tag, and I thought, let's look Amazon Spain if it's available in Spain, and it was more price friendly with English subtitles. La Vampira de Barcelona.
Oh.
And the only thing, Rob, that sometimes I question myself, it has a reversible cover artwork, but it's totally the same. That's on the front, so I don't know what the deal with this is. But I haven't seen it. Cat in the back. La Vampira de Barcelona. So I have some more, but I stop right there, and we do some other stuff, Rob. What did you buy, except of?
Well, of course, you know what?
Or do we do the news?
Well, you know what? I did finally get Lost Boys.
Ooh.
And first of all, let's take a gander at this cover. This is a terrible cover.
Yeah.
Also, it doesn't convey how. I mean, this movie is the epitome of 80s cool. And it is goofy. The Frog Brothers are goofy. But this transfer, you know what? When Warner Brothers is on, I mean, they have MPI, they have motion picture imaging on their lot. So the Lost Boys, like Poltergeist, are tasty. And, you know, this movie was kind of hard to make look great on home video. This has always been iffy on home video. Again, This is why you want movies that were shot on film to be remastered in 4K. The results are astonishing, especially when you get people that take the time. This looks great. It sounds great. Chef's kiss on this. It looks fantastic.
Awesome. You know what happened to my Lost Boys, Rob? Because I ordered the special edition.
Yeah, I didn't.
It got canceled from Amazon. I'm sorry. We can't deliver.
You know what? My Zavi, I ordered Lost Boys and I ordered Poltergeist in the same order.
Yeah.
And I got the deposit, but when they went to credit it, you know, you get new cards and things for whatever reason they told me. So I paid it. I paid the thing, and then they said, well, we don't know if we're going to be able to give you your orders. So the Lost Boys got canceled, and Poltergeist, I'm still waiting for Poltergeist. Which I mean, at the end of the day, it's not like these are definitely small problems.
Yeah,
we don't live in the Ukraine, so they're small problems.
Yeah,
but still, they're annoying. I mean, it's all relative. But I will tell you the release of the year for me, the release of the week for me was this. Keith Gordon, director Keith Gordon's The Chocolate War. This is one of my, along with, well, I have a lot of favorite teen films, but this is one of my favorite teen films of the 80s. This is a very low-budget movie. It was directed by Keith Gordon, who was an actor. He was in movies like Dressed to Kill and Jaws 2. He was in all that jazz. This was his, I believe, his second directed film. He made a really interesting, he co-directed a really interesting science fiction movie sort of called Static. But this is based on Robert Cormier's novel. It has an incredible 80s music score with bands like Yaz and Jenny Wright from Near Dark, coincidentally, which we're going to talk about a little later. Jenny Wright from Near Dark is in this. This is based on Robert Cormier's novel. It has an excellent, excellent performance by John Glover as a priest. This was a movie I wondered if it would ever show up in HD. This is a movie I have on DVD, and I love nothing more than to take a DVD I've had of a movie that I've had for years, 20 years or whatever, and because this is a pretty obscure film, and I throw the DVD away. I know people are going to be like, what? But ritualistically, even if you trade in DVDs, they're worth like 6 cents, unless they're out of print, but now it doesn't matter because now that there's a Blu-ray. I mean, this has special features on it, and to get this on Blu-ray from MVD, they put out Miami Blues I showed Miami Blues. This is my disc of the week. Now, it's not for everyone, and if you try and watch it now, people are going to be like, wow, this is really, it's very low budget. This is a great film about a power struggle in a Catholic school, and I have to say, Wallace, I want to get his name right, Wallace Langham, I want to, not Landingham, but Wallace, he was on CSI, one of the great villains, certainly in any teen film. One of the great villains. I mean, there's not a James Spader in Pretty in Pink and Less Than Zero, and Richard Tyson in as Buddy Revell in 3 O'Clock High, but Archie in this movie is one of the great villains of any teen film. I love this movie. I was so happy to get it, and now I have it on Blu-ray. I don't think it's ever going to come out on 4K, but that's okay.
You told us about the chocolate war last week.
Yeah, I was very happy to get it. And there's nothing I like more than getting, one day, it's definitely part of my, if I were to curate my favorite 80s teen films, I mean, you have to put Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and you have to put John Hughes movies and all that. But if I were to give you my favorite teen films, they would be more alternative teen films. They'd have things like Rumblefish in them, The Chocolate War, Risky Business, things like that. But I love The Chocolate War. The Chocolate War.
And strange to see it from the smaller label coming from the smaller
I think that would be the only way we could get it. Is from a smaller label.
Yeah.
200 Watt Studio says, Rob, did you get anything in Kino Lorber's Shocktober sale? Not really, because I'm pretty much up on all the Kino Lorber stuff that they've put out that I've wanted. Did you get anything from Kino Lorber?
No. And those deals are oftentimes not applicable to international.
Oh, that's right.
Customers.
They're great deals. I mean, I'm a big fan of Kino Lorber.
Totally.
But I keep up with what they're putting out. So the stuff that I get it. So I didn't buy anything at Shocktober. Blue Rock 1701 says, random question. I just finished watching the Exorcist TV show. Have you seen it? And what did you think? Also, any inside information on the Blumhouse trilogy? I have no information on the Blumhouse trilogy. I'm fascinated that they're doing it. I hope it's better than their Halloween trilogy. I loved the first season of the Exorcist TV show. Did you watch it?
Oh, okay.
With Gina Davis?
Where is it drop on Netflix? Where is
I don't know where it is. I don't know where. I think it was done for NBC. I was surprised it was a network show. But it's pretty good. The first season I thought was really good. The second season was a little meandering, but the first season I thought was really good.
Nice.
I mean, it doesn't. The Exorcist is one of my favorite movies of all time, but it's pretty good. And now they're doing a new trilogy with Ellen Burstyn coming back, so I guess it's a direct sequel to the original film. I don't imagine it's going to be good, but hey, maybe it will be. I don't know. But the second season,
the Blumhouse trilogy.
Yeah, the Blumhouse is doing an Exorcist. They're doing an act, and they're bringing back Ellen Burstyn.
Now I remember that was a topic on the John Campea show.
Yeah,
one time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the Exorcist. Yeah. No, I remember.
So, and that comes from Blue Rock, and I don't have any information about that. Terrier, our favorite Terrier, says this super chat is in support of all the people J.J. Abrams has hurt.
Hey.
My mom told me there were no such thing as monsters. She lied. Cheers to you. Cheers to you.
There you start Arcane, finally. Come on.
Norwegian Kryptonian says, do you think the lack of breathing room can be the downfall of the MCU? There's something every week now, no time to get excited for the next movie. I think that's probably, some of it, but, the movies are still making money.
Yeah.
Spider-Man No Way Home made a ton of money. Thor Love and Thunder pushed $800 million. I mean, these are movies that are making huge money. During the pandemic, of course, Black Widow and Shang-Chi probably didn't make as much as they were supposed to. But if you look at Shang-Chi, for a movie like Shang-Chi where nobody really knows Shang-Chi, it did very, very well. But we'll see. I think for me, Wakanda Forever is going to be very telling. It's the end of Phase 4.
Exactly.
It's going to be really interesting to see where it goes.
When is the release date, Rob? Help me out for Wakanda Forever. When is the release date? November?
It's November 11th, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
November 11th, and it's there are things coming up. Like She-Hulk to me has been a really real disappointment.
Don't get me started on that, Rob.
Real disappointment. And I will say this though, and I'll tell you a secret. So people know that I've actually read the script for Secret Invasion.
Okay.
I thought it was fucking great. The scripts are great. Now I can't speak to whether or not, the the show is going to be great.
Yeah.
But it's pretty terrific. And I'm very
so the foundation is there.
The foundation's there. The first episode, first of all, it brings back, like, what I don't understand is the Marvels. Here's my theory about the MCU. And my theory about the MCU is the Marvel Cinematic Universe, at least in its first till the end of the Infinity Saga, it basically paints a world where we ourselves, we the viewers, can believe that those superheroes could exist in our world. So in terms of verisimilitude, suspension of disbelief, you watch something like the Captain America movies, especially Winter Soldier and Civil War. Those films there's a very serious nature to them. And I think one of the problems with Phase 4 is that they've become a little bit more ordinary. The Marvel pixie dust formula that worked so well has been they're no longer they're more like movies as opposed to the MCU that made you believe. Like I still, when I watch Infinity War, the first 20 minutes of Infinity War is so wildly entertaining from a fantasy film standpoint. The Asgardians, the scene with Thanos and the Black Order, and it's so great. And then when Doctor Strange meets Tony Stark and all that, and then the battle in New York with Ebony Maw, it's so entertaining. It's just peak fantasy filmmaking. And I feel that Marvel Phase 4 has never been able to, they've become second tier Marvel movies, like everything. Even though I loved Shang-Chi and I like the fact that it's a wuxia movie, it's a Chinese fantasy film, I do feel that it's missing, like my favorite part of Shang-Chi is the fight on the bus in San Francisco.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, I love seeing Tony Leung because I love Tony Leung, but I think and all of the TV shows other than WandaVision, I think have sort of had various issues with them, but not to get into that too deep.
Now we have goofy nonsense.
Well, yeah, it's now it's all goofy. I mean, Thor: Love and Thunder, I'm like, has spun off into oblivion. She-Hulk is every week. She-Hulk becomes a different show.
Ooh.
And because I was really waiting, I was really looking forward to She-Hulk. I mean, I really liked Miss Marvel because even though it didn't appeal to me personally on a subject matter level, I thought for what it was really well executed. And it had a great cast of characters, and I love the familial nature of it. I mean, it was not what I wanted to get personally from the MCU, but for what it was supposed to be, I thought it really succeeded. And everything else didn't. And I would say this.
At least it had some charm to it, but
Yes.
She-Hulk has actually nothing.
No, it's and I will say this.
And
Secret Invasion is more like if it depends on its execution, but Secret Invasion is really more along the lines of Winter Soldier, spy thriller, international intrigue. Really, really, really. I mean, the first episode, at least the script, was fucking great. It's really, really great.
Okay.
And actually, I like the whole thing, but it's very interesting.
Okay. You got your hopes up for the.
I do. By the way, according to anyone else, I haven't read it. What I'm saying about I will neither confirm nor deny on my computer screen right now. I have the scripts for Secret Invasion.
Because She-Hulk, we all just watch now just to wait for Daredevil. I don't want any. I don't want any. Find out what would be the rating if they didn't had a tease with Daredevil. How many viewers would have perhaps jumped the ship, considering She-Hulk?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly, Rob. Don't start with that.
So where are we at? What's next, buddy? What do you want to know?
News? Do we do the news?
We got news. We haven't done news. There's okay. a lot of good news. A lot of good news this week. First of all, and now let's go to the news. Pulp Fiction coming out from, believe it or not, from Paramount. Limited edition steelbook. Pulp Fiction is coming out. We knew it was coming out in 4K. I love this cover. We've talked about this before. Is officially announced, but again, coming out from Paramount. Paramount's doing a great job with their 4K releases. Their transfers look great. I know. I mean, it's
under Paramount.
Well, it's a Miramax film. Shenanigans. I mean, you'd think that I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know why Paramount's putting it out, but they'll do a good job.
Because it will probably get made in Germany.
Yeah, probably will. And then, of course, we have Rocky has been announced for 4K, as has Rocky 2. So Rocky in 4K and Rocky 2. Train to Busan announced for a domestic 4K release. A release of A Girl on a Motorcycle, Jack Cardiff's film that stars Marianne Faithfull and Alain Delon. This is a great cult. This is very much a cult movie, but it's not coming out in 4K, but it's being remastered in 4K. Kino Lorber's putting it out. I don't know. Just put it out in 4K, guys. Maybe because nobody wants to. I don't know. I love this movie. I mean, this movie, here's a funny thing. They have nothing to do with each other other than motorcycles. But Girl on a Motorcycle in a movie called Electra Glide in Blue, which I bought recently. Again, I bought these movies multiple times. I always think of them as like a double feature. Girl on a Motorcycle and Electra Glide in Blue with Robert Blake. Now, bro, almost as much as The Chocolate War, a movie is finally coming out. It's another DVD that I can't wait to get rid of. Announced for Blu-ray. I am very happy. I believe this is coming out from Arrow, bro.
Oh, nice.
Arrow, the movie Croupier in fucking 4K. From Mike Hodges, who directed Get Carter and I believe Flash Gordon. I love this movie. Clive Owen, young Clive Owen. I love this film. I can't believe it's coming out in 4K. I am so excited to buy this movie. Again, a movie I'm like, wow, it hasn't come out as far as I know on Blu-ray. Getting it in 4K. I love this movie. I love Clive Owen in this movie. And Arrow is putting out. So...
yeah,
thank God.
And we had people, complaining about Arrow putting, more mainstream titles, but this is back to the roots.
Yeah, this is not Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Once again,
no.
This is Croupier with Clive Owen. Love this movie in 4K. Thank you, Arrow. We also have The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is coming out from Eureka, Masters of their Cinema series, putting out the 20s Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, a movie, of course, that every film student has to watch because, that's what you do. And it's a German movie, so, you should buy it. It's silent, so they're not going to speak there. No one says Saarbrücken in it, but hey. Now here, this is for you, Dieter. So Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, I'm going to buy Michelle Yeoh and Cynthia Rothrock, starring in Yes, Madam or Cop Assassins or whatever. This is coming out from, I think it is coming out from Eureka, but oh my God, check it out. Cynthia Rothrock. Can you opine on this movie?
Totally, because I think it will come out in here in Germany as well, but of course under a different name. It is the Ultra Force series, Rob, in Germany. Not Yes, Madam, Ultra Force. And the media book is pre-ordered. Should be here in October.
Why does this not surprise me?
You know me, Rob. You know me too well.
God, I thought I was very excited. I mean, Cynthia Rothrock and Michelle Yeoh, that's like a Dieter Bastian wet dream.
Exactly. But you forgot one that I'm totally excited. I know it's probably wasn't on your radar. In America, they will be releasing The Witch Part 2. The other one is a Korean movie, a sequel to The Witch. It actually has nothing to do with the Witch, but this was totally a blast for me. I waited for the sequel a long time. I heard it's not good, the sequel, but I'm really looking forward to it, and it will come out in the States first. Not in Korea, it's a Korean movie, but it will come out in the States in November. The Witch 2, Part 2, the other one. And if you haven't seen the first one, Rob, get that movie, The Witch. So, right. The Witch Subversion is the first one.
Well, you say so.
Don't watch any trailer. Go in blind, Rob. Come on. The Witch Subversion. Totally recommended. And I can't wait for the sequel.
All right. Well, let's see what the sales figures are for this week.
Yeah.
So we got the top 10 Blu-ray sellers for the week ending. Now, these are just the Blu-ray sellers. Of course, Elvis, top of the list. Yay, good Elvis. Minions again, Jurassic World Dominion, Outlander Season 6, Where the Crawdads Sing, The Lost Boys, Lightyear, Poltergeist. Look at that. Catalog titles. Lightyear. Between Lightyear, you got Lost Boys and Poltergeist. You got 87 and 82 represented, which is great. Spider-Man No Way Home, The Batman. Nothing surprising there. This is the top 5 home media sellers. Now, this is the top 5 home media sellers entirely. Now, the percentage here, hang on, wait. What'd you say?
The one that is a little bit strange is, for me, Outlander Season 6, in all the movies. In between, you have a TV show.
Chicks love Outlander, man.
Season
yeah,
6.
It's Ron Moore. It's respectable.
Yeah.
So here we have the top 5 home media sellers. Now, this is the entirety of everything it's selling with the percentage of Blu-ray sales next to that. Not 4K, but Blu-ray. Elvis, Minions, Where the Crawdads Sing, Outlander, Jurassic World Dominion. This is what's selling. My God, Jurassic World Dominion, the people love these Jurassic World movies. Then, of course, we've got it crossed $1 billion this week, that's right. Top Blu-ray 3D. There's only 3 3D. I guess everything else dropped off. These are the top 3D sellers. Top Gun 3D, 0.46%. Point of unit sales. Not even 1%, 0.46%. The Wizard of Oz is 0.07 and Minions 3D is 0.2%. I mean, that means like 2 people bought it this week in 3D. Something like that.
Rob helped me out. The Wizard of Oz, is this the original?
Yes.
In a conversion? Okay.
No, this is the original, which is beautiful. I saw that. Actually, I saw it in. I saw the original at the Chinese theater. It was the first film I saw.
Great.
When they redid the Chinese theater. It was the first thing that I saw there.
Nice.
And then we've got, finally, these are the top 5 4K disc sellers. And what's really interesting is if you look at this, Poltergeist, 99% of the Poltergeists that sold are the 4K discs, and 99% of the Lost Boys that sold are 4K discs. Then, of course, Spider-Man No Way Home, The Batman, Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is fantastic. So that's all very, very, very exciting. So there you go. Poltergeist is great. And, speaking of that, by the way, do we go over we haven't gone over the live chat from last week because
No,
you asked me to
didn't.
pull something to show, and I've got those to show.
Yeah.
So should we go to the live chat? So that's the news.
Okay.
That's all the news that's fit to print. And by the way, I just want to point out to everybody, I only show the discs that have any interest to me. And there's a lot of other things that get announced. And if you go to, not that I'm endorsing, Blu-ray.com, go to Blu-ray.com. And I'll tell you something else. I want to give a shout out to Douglas Pratt, who is still publishing his Laserdisc and DVD newsletter. Now, I have been reading Douglas Pratt. I mean, I wasn't reading him for a long time, but my friend Craig Hyland at Videophile in Seattle, I used to religiously buy Douglas Pratt's newsletter. It's self-published. I used to buy it at Tower Records. They would sell it there, and I first got it at Videophile, but then I would buy it at Tower Records. I never subscribed to it, but I bought it. I probably could have got it cheaper. But Douglas Pratt is still publishing it. Like, he has to have been doing this for the better part. He's got to be approaching 40 years. He's got to have been doing this. Yeah. I mean, he's been sending me since he found us or saw us on this show. He asked me for my email, and he's been sending me his newsletters. Go look up Douglas Pratt and look up. He kept the title the same. He still talks about Blu-rays and 4Ks and things, but he kept the newsletter, the Laserdisc DVD, just like this is a
great.
This is a laser thing.
So
go find Douglas Pratt and go subscribe to the Laserdisc DVD newsletter and tell him I sent you, because he still does exhaustive reviews of the discs. He's got lists of every single disc that's coming out for months in advance. It's as exhaustively researched as it ever was. So go find Douglas Pratt. I tried to get him to come on the show. I said, Douglas, you got to come on the. He said he's better doing his stuff in print, which I understand. I don't want to force him. I don't want to force him anything. But go find Douglas Pratt. Go get the Laserdisc DVD. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to find it, and I'm going to go here. Let me, because I just got the latest issue from him.
Yeah.
And he sent it to me. And let me just look down here and find where he put that. There it is, Douglas Pratt.
It's great that he didn't change the title.
No, that's the best thing. It is the best thing. Okay, here is Douglas Pratt. What is his email? Yeah, let's see if I capture that copy. Well, his email is just look him up. Look up the newsletter. Let's see. Oh no, maybe I can. I don't know if I should send him. I don't know if I should send you. I don't want to send you this email because it might be his personal email. Okay. I don't know.
Okay.
But Douglas Pratt, it is the DVD Laserdisc newsletter. And his October 2022 came out. It's issue 458. And if he publishes once a month, you can calculate how many months is 458. 12 months a year, 10 years is 120 months, 20 years is 240 months, 30 years is, that's a lot of months. So, you know where you can go? Okay, here it is. www.dvdlaser.com. www.dvdlaser.com. Go there, subscribe. And his newsletter is $5 a month, and it's $5 well spent. My full endorsement. Awesome. Go there.
Awesome.
So now to the live chat with you.
Okay. Previously on Let's Get Physical Media, we start with Bill Barclay. Will Dave Parker ever return for Midnight Metal? I was thinking maybe mid-October when Halloween Ends comes out.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do another Midnight Metal.
There you go. Justin Toner, our moderator. I have a soft spot for Hellraiser 3 as well. After that, all crap. Okay, let's hope next week drop. Next week, Hellraiser movie, good reviews. Let's hope it will be good.
Do you know why, Justin? I have a soft spot for Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. You know why? There's literally a physical media Cenobite. There's
Exactly.
CD head. So, and by the way, Arrow's Scarlet box is one of my favorite box sets. It's a dope ass box set.
Nice.
Hard to get.
Victor Fontaine. Oh man, Dieter rubbing it in my face as he got the Star Trek Director's Complete motion picture, while mine is on indefinite delay with Amazon. So Victor, I hope it will get sorted out and you will get yours too. Pumpkin said the same. Seeing Dieter's copy of Star Trek the Motion Picture is rubbing it in for me too, as mine from Amazon UK has been lost in the mail somewhere between the UK and USA. But it's still available, Pumpkin. I hope Amazon will get through to you with your copy. Paul in Long Beach. I'm confused, Dieter. I honestly thought we'd be Wang Changing tonight by now. Paul, I have no idea what you are referring to, considering Wang Changing.
I know what he's referring to. You know why we're not Wang Chunging? Because Kino Lorber's promised version of To Live and Die in L.A. on 4K.
There we go.
Kino Lorber, you want me to go to your Shocktober sale. You know what you haven't given me? You announced it over a year ago. Where is To Live and Die in L.A.? Of course, To Live and Die in L.A.'s soundtrack was done by Wang Chung, and Wang Chung wants you to Wang Chung tonight, but I can't Wang Chung tonight because I don't have To Live and Die in L.A. on 4K, put out by Kino Lorber, which would be a true 4K disc because you could take it off of a film print. I bet you can't find the negative. Is that what's going on there? Low-budget movie? Come on, man. Hurricane Billy, one of his greatest films, one of my favorite movies of the 80s. Come on, man. The most homoerotic cop thriller ever made this side of cruising. Where is my To Live and Die in L.A.? God damn it. I can't Wang Chung without it.
Kino Lorber, here's how you do it. Like one of our favorite German labels, Turbine. I got an email 3 days ago with what will come out next week as a 4K, No Escape from Israeli.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that. Is that the 3-disc set that has all the different artwork?
Exactly.
Do you know that one of the people that designed the poster art for Tango Shalom worked on that? You got to get me that, buddy.
Ooh.
I need that.
Rob,
it's sold out.
Sold out already.
Fucking hell. Also, God damn it.
Perhaps they will make a new charge. I will keep my eye open, but you have to say what cover do you want, Rob, Okay. Perhaps at some point we will be Wang Changing, but I wanted just to point out I like the way Turbine is doing it. This will come out. It will not come out in 3 months, 4 months. No, it comes out next week. Here's the announcement. It comes out next week. Not way ahead of the stuff. Okay. Markus Bismarck was in the chat. I don't get a problem with female Hellraiser. Female demon entity is usually more scary, in my opinion. And Rogue Finger answered him, I am not sure there is any problem with it. Sure, a tiny fraction of people may say something, but I haven't heard anyone that has a problem with it. So let's find out next week.
Let's face it, none of us are going to kick the female Cenobite out of bed.
Yeah.
She'll tear our souls apart. I mean, come on. Yeah. You can't tell me you don't find her sexy. Oh, yeah.
And Tim Hens always shocks me, okay? Watched Jeepers Creepers years ago and thought it was garbage. Come on, Tim. It wasn't. How can you say that? Unbelievable. And Tim Hens asked, which version of Avatar was it, Deeds? I prefer the special edition. In the movie theaters, the Avatar re-release is just the theatrical version, okay? The Alex Sorber, Dieter was at Oktoberfest all week, right, Deeds? Unfortunately, I wasn't, Alex Sorber, on the Oktoberfest. Markus Bismarck, I just watched, you mentioned it in the sales, Where the Crawdads, that thing, it's much better than the Rotten Tomato 33% score. Okay. Let me just see. Yep. Temet Noske. Rob, I have a bunch of Star Trek VHS. I would like to send you some if you don't mind. I think we're good. Damn it. I think we're good on that one.
Yeah, man. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Star Trek VHS.
Master,
Look, VHS was always garbage. It's great to be rid of it.
exactly. Marv Dogger, remember the days of having to import DVDs from Japan and Korea to get them with the DTS track? You know, we had last week a little bit conversation about different sound files like DTS, Dolby Digital. Which one is better? You know.
Well, it's not just sound files. I mean, there are DVDs in my collection. For instance, Kill Bill Volume 1. The Japanese DVD is the only way you can get the House of Blue Leaves sequence all in color and with more violence.
As an official release, Rob.
Right. Yes, as an official release. Yeah, well, it came in a badass box set, you know, that with Tori Hanzo swords and all that. Where is that? Why have they not released Kill? I did see Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair. I've seen it. I would love to get that. Why can't we get that? And why can't we get Grindhouse? You know, I know these are Miramax movies. You know, the crimes of Harvey Weinstein continue. I can't get my full-on Grindhouse. I can't get my Whole Bloody Affair, Kill Bill.
So Paramount, get on that. You know, you put out Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, man. Well. I mean, in the streaming world, you think Paramount Plus doesn't want the Whole Bloody Affair? I mean, I would love to get that.
That would be
put it out on, because
nice.
I got to tell you, you know, Paramount, they always have produced, aside from the problems with the War of the Worlds 4K, for the most part, Paramount has always delivered the goods when it comes to 4K discs, and their Fatal Attraction looks great. I've been a fan of like Hunt for October, what they do when they go back and they do their catalog titles in 4K. But here's a bit of advice. Hey, Paramount, where the fuck is Chinatown? Huh? Where's Chinatown? Come on, give me what I want. I got Mommy Dearest in Blu-ray. I got that. I want Chinatown.
Finally.
Why haven't you put Chinatown out in 4K? Why? Because some numbnuts doesn't know what that movie is? I mean, give me a break. Where's Chinatown in 4K? Chinatown in 4K. I want it. Give it to me now. And I don't understand. You know, if you have to like import George Feltenstein over from Warner Brothers, he'll make sure you get the best version of Chinatown out on 4K. That's what he does. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, an almost 91-year-old movie's coming out. It's going to be amazing, he says. Fucking Chinatown, man. Give me Chinatown. Have I mentioned I want it on 4K? Anyway, go ahead.
Exactly. Paramount, are you
Chinatown.
listening? Okay.
Chinatown.
That sound. Considering last week you told us about your love for cricket, Gary Banjo Sandwich Worthington, Pinocchio, the best cricket film ever. Okay. And Rogue Finger, Dieter, did you get the latest physical media of Electric Callboys Techno? Rogue Finger, I had no idea what you were talking about, but I delved into it about this kind of music. Heard in it a little, 20 seconds, 2 tracks. Rogue Finger, no, not for me. Bill Barkley, does Rob still have his laser discs? Bill, how long do you watch our show? Come on,
dude.
Come on.
I mean, to be honest, I've got about, first of all, I don't like to call people out in the chat. Juan Rodriguez, what is Chinatown? Bro. Dude. There are very many influential films of the 1970s, The Godfather and Godfather 2, Conversation, Apocalypse Now, Coppola's quadrilogy, if you want to call it that. But Jack Nicholson and Robert Towne penned, Roman Polanski directed Chinatown, starring Jack Nicholson, Faye Dunaway, John Huston, Mr. Gitz. If you haven't seen Chinatown, do yourself a favor. Watch one of the greatest films of the 70s, maybe the greatest films, certainly up there. don't get all woke on me and talk about Roman Polanski's past. I don't want to talk about that. I just want to talk about the movie, talk about the art. Watch Chinatown. Jerry Goldsmith's score. Oh, God. Let me tell you, you'll never look at, well, never mind. I'm not going to say a word. Just watch it. Wait a minute.
Okay.
200 watt studio says Chinatown is being done in 4K by Studio Canal with a modern color grading for modern audiences like their Basic Instinct 4K. Why do you do?
Don't push
you know
his
what?
buttons.
I haven't even got 200 watt 4K is now dissed on To Live and Die in LA. I haven't even read that yet, and now he's dissing on Chinatown and Studio Canal.
Unbelievable.
You know what? This show is like pleasure and pain. It's like Spock's brain, the givers of pain and delight. It's terrible.
We have such sights to show you.
Yeah, and you know what? Give me a female Cenobite to rip me apart in bed while she's, sticking things where the sun don't shine. It'd be great. Love it. But, I don't like to be abused on my own show.
What can you do, Rob? What can you do?
That's
happens when you put yourself out there, in the
It's true.
Either.
I coerced you to do it almost 2 years ago, and you're still here.
Yeah.
You masochist.
Yeah. And I said, yeah, sure. Hey, Douchey Douche, do you want to do a show about physical media? Yeah, sure, Rob. I almost answered with the three same words that, broke the internet this week. Okay.
What were those 3 words?
My friend.
Wolverine?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure, sure, Ryan.
Sure, Rob.
Sure, Ryan.
Yeah, sure, Rob. Right. Indeed. Indeed.
My friend from Germany here in the Black Forest, Altmetall. DTS is better than Dolby Digital, in my opinion, but Atmos is much better than DTS or DTS Master. Like I said, Altmetall, for me, it's almost the most important thing is the mix itself. Tim Hens, as Rob correctly explained, DTS is less compressed than Dolby Digital.
Yes.
Marv Dodger, DTS was the preferable format in the DVD days because of its higher bit rates. Here, Bill Barclay, considering John uses his precious soundbar. John said on his latest Ask Me Anything that he doesn't want his audio tricked out. Bill, I have no idea what he means by tricked out.
Well, I'll tell you what he means. I'll tell you what he means. He has no idea what it would be like. He has that room. You could put a killer surround sound system in that room.
Yeah.
Killer. John does not know what that is. He does not have physical media. He doesn't play physical media. He doesn't know what the advantage to having a surround sound. The funny thing is, once he heard it, he would never go back. But
that's it.
Here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand, and I don't begrudge anyone this. They don't understand what a great surround sound system will do for their experiencing of a movie, their enjoyment of, and here's the thing. I remember even before you could get, I had bought a Pioneer, like a faux surround sound system for my bedroom when I was growing up, when I was in high school with Laserdiscs and all that. That was cool. But when I had true surround sound for the first time and hooked it up with a center mono channel, dialogue channel left and right, it was a 5.1 system. The first time I ever heard surround sound in 5.1, it was so, it was as if angels came down from heaven and showed me something I couldn't possibly have known until I actually delved into it. Because as you know, and what's amazing is these little discs that we're watching have this audio goodness on it. And if you've never heard a surround soundtrack on big speakers, and I think it was very interesting when I met my biological mother. We went to her brother's house, great house. He had, this was back in the Laserdisc days, he had a extremely powerful surround sound system. And I said to him, I could tell his equipment was great. And I go, listen, what discs do you have that what is your favorite demo disc? And he put on, I want to say it was the Eagles, the Hell Freezes Over tour.
Oh yeah.
And he put in Hotel California. And it starts out with they're all sitting on stage, and I had never heard. I mean, it's literally like you're sitting in the room. I mean, because you're people.
It was a demo. It's still a demo disc, Rob. Even if it's just on DVD, it was. I think it never gotten a Blu-ray release.
I was sitting. I couldn't believe it. The ambient people don't understand, and it really. I mean, sound bars. Again, if you don't have sound bars, are fine. But a dedicated home theater system with proper speakers, I cannot tell you how it will change your life. It changes the experience. I mean, Apocalypse Now. I used to show everybody Apocalypse Now on Laserdisc. Just the helicopters at the beginning. It's unbelievable, and it's really frustrating because we now live in a world where all of this technology exists. It's on these discs. It's right there, ripe for the taking. And everyone's watching shit on their phones and on their computers. And I'm just like, I cannot stress to anyone enough how much a surround sound system, and with John, he doesn't know. Like I feel like I should take over just my Pioneer Elite amplifier and hook up the 7.1 Atmos system. And just play it for him, because it would blow him away. I mean, he always jokes, but he jokes because he's never heard it before. He doesn't know what it would be like, and he's got a great room to do it in.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating.
Yeah. I still remember, like I told you, I was visiting one of my longest worker colleagues, and I know you don't like the movie, Rob, but I can tell you how much I used Star Trek Generation, the Laserdisc, to show off the 5.1 sound. I only had 5.0 at the beginning. And I always used.
Oh, because you didn't have a subwoofer yet.
No, but I had big front speakers, and I was just living in really a small room, so you didn't need a subwoofer separately. I always used the beginning with the swelling music, the bottle, champagne bottle, then swelling. Then what I totally loved was, voice effects from the surround, starship separation, and it traveled from one channel to the next, starship separation in T-minus 1 minute, and that was great. And the scene, I always used the scene when the saucer section came crashing down.
Oh yeah. No, I might not like the movie, but there's some impressive. And that was Paramount. Their Laserdiscs were incredible. Wasn't that DTS?
No, it was just.
Was it just Dolby Double? Okay, right, because it wasn't Universal, and Universal was.
Yeah. But it was great too. I can tell you how much I presented that scenes from Star Trek Generations, considering the sound.
Oh,
what does 5.1 actually means?
Yeah,
and what did he do, Rob? He had to say, I have to get something like this too. Oh
no, it'll change.
And now he has even more than me, because he has Dolby Atmos and I haven't.
Yeah, no, but it's incredible. I mean, and what's amazing is it's been sitting on your shelf the whole time. It's already there, and so it's incredible when you finally just turn it on for the first time. It'll blow. It will change your life. You will never listen to something, if you at home, you will never want to hear anything other than in surround sound ever again.
Exactly.
So anyway.
Exactly. And Bill Barclay did go on, left out loud, with that tricked out sound system, you still wouldn't be able to make out what they are saying in Tenet. Well, that was certainly a director's choice, probably. And Kondo 007 said, I've avoided Tenet for that reason. There is some, we all know, Bobby loves our verisimilitude. There was verisimilitude there, but you have to, at some point, you have to perhaps not go that round. Tim Hens, the beginning of Saving Private Ryan on Omaha Beach, the sound to that is amazing. Can hear bullets whiz past your head.
Oh,
and Tim, I have to say here, the best version, Rob help me out here, is still the laser discs, considering Saving Private Ryan. You can have your DTS master audio. It doesn't compare to the laser discs,
dude.
For my taste,
I would agree with you.
the
That
laser
has
disc,
some
the
of the
dynamic of the MG at the beginning of Omaha Beach, unbelievable. That is another scene that I showed extensively from the laser disc.
oh yeah,
back in the day.
yeah. Top Gun too. Top Gun was a great lasers demo disc.
Kando 007 back again. Has Dieter pre-ordered Bloodsport 4K out December 16. Come on, Kondo. Of course. Not one, two times for my friend, which I visited this afternoon. And then Bill Buckley put out something great that I didn't forget myself, Rob. Guys, do some movies still do the THX logo? If not, I missed that. And Demands, not seen the THX logo in quite a while. Rob, is THX still a thing?
You know, I don't know. I don't think it is. I mean, I think that program. The problem was that was a
I totally forgot about THX, and you know, you had the receivers. They were THX.
Yeah, that was very much a
compatible.
Lucasfilm thing, and you know, the THX thing in theaters was a calibration thing. Now it's moved over more to Dolby Cinema and all that. I just don't think that they do that anymore, which is too bad because I love the THX. Remember the THX logo in front of movies, how it would change?
Yeah, exactly. Awesome.
I think the last one was the plants, you know, in the tropical.
The plants was great. Yeah.
That was I love that one. And I love when that shows up on discs.
Yeah, totally. But I totally forgot about that logo. Tim Hens, the special edition is by far the better version of Avatar. Tim, probably not, because it's not in 3D. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Red Comet, Cameron, that Endgame outdid his precious Avatar movie. I haven't heard that, Red Comet, but wouldn't we all be a little bit jealous? You know, you were in the top spot for that long, and then another one comes around, snaps it away from you. But he's back. Rob, will actually the re-release will figure into the box office from the original release, or
is
the re-release separately?
No, absolutely. Let's check on that. Let's check on that. Let's see where we are at. We're at Avatar. So
Avatar's
worldwide gross right now stands at 2,905,490,102. So the all-time rankings, dude.
Yeah.
The all-time rankings are.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's look at it worldwide. I'm looking at the all-time rankings here. Where are we at all times? Top lifetime these are not adjusted grosses. Because adjusted grosses don't count. They're different.
Yeah.
Top lifetime grosses. That's domestic. That's not worldwide. Hang on. Let me go to worldwide. Let me go to worldwide. All-time rankings. Hang on. Lifetime grosses. Why am I on domestic? I don't want domestic.
Okay.
I want the world. Hang on. Let me go to worldwide. And we're going to go. Let me get down here. So just hold on a minute. It's taking me a while to figure this out because I'm going to.
Yeah, there are many possible lists concerning the box office.
Yes.
Domestic, worldwide, year.
I'm still looking. Oh, come all time. Now, here we go.
Okay.
Top lifetime grosses.
Yeah.
I'm looking. See, it's not. Why is this not giving me worldwide? I'm on worldwide here. Why is this so difficult?
Okay.
Now it's in 2022. I want to go all time, and of course, it's not just giving me all time. It's giving me things. I just want. I want worldwide grosses all time. Why is this so difficult?
Let me just check here. I go to box office.
Why is this so difficult? International. I'm at worldwide box office.
Here I have it in front of me, Rob, from Box Office Mojo.
Yeah, that's where I'm at
First
right now.
Okay.
So I'm at worldwide. And you tell me. Rank release group. It says 2022. I want I want worldwide, and right now it's Top Gun Maverick, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Worldwide is, of course, Avatar is first, almost now 100 million ahead before Avengers Endgame, which comes in around 2.8, not completely, but almost. Then Titanic, still 2.2. Star Wars, Force Awakens, 2 billion, and Avengers Infinity just 20 million below that on place 5. Then Spider-Man, No Way Home, almost at the 2 billion threshold, considering perhaps the re-release
Yeah.
that was playing. Then, surprising to me actually, Jurassic World, the first one, 1.67. Then The Lion King, the live animation, live action animation, 1.66. The Avengers, the first one, 1.5. Furious 7, 1.5. And Top Gun Maverick is now in the 11th place.
Well, there you go. Maybe it'll break into the top 10. Who knows? So there we are.
6. Yeah. So Avatar is 100 million, a little bit more than 100 million ahead now, considering Endgame.
Well, there you go.
Okay. So, Rob, now it's your turn. In the live chat, there was a new name named Yash Srivastava, and he asked, do either of you guys have a physical copy of Near Dark? Please show us. And since I'm not coordinated like Rob, I asked him, can you get your Near Dark Blu-ray to show Yash Srivastava your copy of Near Dark?
Yash, I have 2 different copies of Near Dark. I have the notorious Twilight version of Near Dark. There is the copy of Near Dark. It's too bad because Near Dark has a great one sheet. Now, this was put out by Lionsgate. I'm not sure when. It's not like the original Bill Paxton artwork, although Bill Paxton is there. But so this Near Dark, and it's quite pricey if you look at it online. But it's all right. It's all right. Now the second copy of Near Dark I have, thanks to our boy Dieter Bastian, is the German media book of Near Dark, which I really like. You can see it's the German media book. And these German media books are pretty dope. And some I just knocked the disc out of it, which I don't like doing. But so these media books, what's great about these media books is they are literally books. And so what's cool about them is, Die Nacht hat ihren Preis, right? There you go. Ihren Preis. So there's that. The night has its price. That's what Jenny Wright says in the thing. So it's such a great movie. But these media books, these German media books, again, we talked about the top of the hour, and this is a pretty thick media book. And there's a lot of, I don't know if they do the press notes, but there's a lot of great pictures in these things. They're literally books, and this is pretty extensive. There's a lot of, you of course have the family, Severin von Sickle. There you go. I fought for the South. We lost. And there are 2 discs in here. There's 3 discs in here. So you've got the Blu-ray, which is up front. And then in the back, you have a DVD and you have the bonus disc. So obviously for horror fans, this is a tough thing to come across. I think Second Sight's doing it. I think, Second Sight is doing both the Eric Red double feature, Near Dark and The Hitcher. And it's funny because George Feltenstein talked to me about how he was instrumental in finding, because The Hitcher was like HBO Films. George found, I guess, was able to procure the negative for Second Sight. And when I first talked to him about that, I was like, oh my God, that's so great. George wasn't aware of Second Sight, really. And I said, dude, they're one of the preeminent horror genre labels. I don't understand how Second Sight picks what they do, but they will forever have my eternal gratification. Once again, here is my. If you look at the top left, next to the American Werewolf Dieter Bastian got me, but the Second Sight Dawn of the Dead box set is up at the top left. As a matter of fact, a lot of this collection was given to me by our Dieter. Everything from Akira to American Psycho. There's a lot of stuff to Rollerball. A lot of things that Dieter got me there, but Second Sight did the Dawn of the Dead box set, which is my favorite single film box set in history. Is Second Sight's Dawn of the Dead. It's the greatest thing ever. Anyway, so there you go. There's my near darks, my 2 near darks, and no, you can't have them. But it's coming out in 4K. Coming out in 4K.
That's great.
Ooh, actually, Video Hunter D asks a very good question. But there are a lot of super chats. Do you have more?
Yeah. Red Comet. If all the students left Cobra Kai, what's season 6 going to be about? That's what I'm hoping they can put some gas in the tank again. And I heard Critical Drinker loved season 5, I heard even say.
That's good.
Bill Barkley, has everyone seen Rob Zombie's The Monsters? Bill, from my perspective, The Monsters were never a big thing here in Germany. I have no interest in The Monsters. If it gets directed from Rob Zombie or anyone else, so I have no stakes in The Monsters. Rob, have you seen it, The Monsters? But besides the trailer.
It wasn't good. Did not like.
Did not like. Marv Durga, Disney have never fully invested into physical media. They always disliked people owning their movies. Unbelievable.
That's true from the very beginning. I mean, they did some great. I will say this: Disney did some beautiful Laserdisc box sets. The big white boxes. They invested a lot of money in special features, and they did early on in the days of DVD. They did a lot. They did spend a lot of time. I worked for Disney through Curdy Pellerin. You know, I did my 88-minute long. The documentary I directed on the making of Tron. That was on the 20th anniversary DVD of Tron that came out in 2001. You can find it on YouTube if you want to see it. It's also on the Blu-rays. But they did spend a lot of time. But ultimately, philosophically, you're correct, because Disney made their bread and butter constantly re-releasing their animated. I mean, people forget they're much maligned or much Song of the South, the movie they will not even admit they own. The last time it was theatrically re-released in 1986. Like, I grew up, Song of the South was a Disney movie that I liked. Uncle Remus and Brer Rabbit, and it won Academy Awards, and now it's been canceled.
It's not non-existent.
Although you can borrow my Stinky Tuna Blu-ray if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. No, you can't. I will not loan that out. But, hey. Not that I have that. Do I have Song of the South on Blu-ray? No.
Never. Victor Fontaine. Back in 2009, the new 3D CGI with motion tracking in Avatar was awesome. Now it was just another movie with computer graphics. Come on, Victor. It still holds up. You can
keep going. Give me 2 minutes. You keep going, okay?
Yeah. You can see it in theaters and discover it for yourself anew. Tom Jr. Jackson, I hope I make the connection correctly. I got it for the commentary. You probably meant Moonfall. So did Roland apologizes on the commentary for Moonfall? I hope so. Okay, it would be the only saving grace for him to apologize for it on the audio commentary. Altmetall, I fall asleep on the last episode of Rings of Power. Okay, I haven't watched the 6th episode on Friday. I heard there was finally some action came with it. Okay, Rogue Finger wasn't live chat. Oh, come on. Moonfall, not great, not even good, but action-packed and fun. Okay, maybe not fun, but I watched it. Altmetall back. You're teasing me with X, Dieter. So, Altmetall, did you finally bought X and watched it? Okay, get back to me. Rogue Finger. I am Canadian and I no longer watch Cambia because of his takes on Superman. I just can't trust his judgment. Okay. This one I will have to wait when Rob comes back because this is a question for him. Just see. And Altmetall didn't like the cover for Reservoir Dogs. This cover for the Steelbook that we showed last week. This cover of Reservoir Dogs is an abomination. Okay. He didn't like that at all. But Sega said it's still better than the Lost Boys and Poltergeist cover art. Definitely. So, Rob, I have one question for you from the live chat. From Temet Noske again. Rob, do you have the film Immoral Tales? Immoral Tales.
No, I do not.
Doesn't.
I do not own Immoral Tales.
Don't ring a bell with me. Stubble McShade, considering the character.
It's actually, I'll tell you,
Yeah.
it's it is it's an anthology film.
Okay.
And I know the movie, but I don't. It brings the filthy. Hang on.
Oh.
Because
because he asked, have you seen the 1973 film by Valerian?
That's what Immoral Tales is.
Immoral Tales.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I do not own it, but I've seen it.
Okay.
But I do not own it.
Yeah, almost 50 years now old. Okay.
And I remember it's in multiple languages.
Oh, okay.
And it's funny because there is an IFC Midnight movie, Immoral Tales.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a remake or whatever, but no, I do not own it.
Okay.
But that would be a good one to own.
Considering the Reservoir Dogs cover, Stubble McShave, Reservoir Dogs is very character focused, and so I'd prefer the cover that features the actors rather than a shock moment.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's the problem with the modern. I mean, even though the cutting the ear off scene is important in the film, and I guess it's iconic, stuck in the middle with you and all that, but I wouldn't. The fact that that's what we're getting for packaging, that's kind of the problem with today. Go for the. Don't celebrate the entire movie. Let's distill everything down to the one scene, man. Whatever.
Okay. Justin Toner was in the live chat. Vinegar Syndrome is releasing Roadhouse in 4K. Huge get for them. And Justin, that was not worth a super chat for you. I had to find that news out by going through the live chat. That would be worth a super chat. Come on, Justin. That will get you a strike here, okay? Just dropping that news simply in the live chat. Unbelievable. 200 Watt Studio. All that for an awful movie. And Kronos Gottweisen, fantastic packaging for a movie of that quality. Okay? They, of course, talked about Cyborg.
But look at how beautiful Look at how beautiful that packaging is, dude. Come on.
Exactly, Rob. Exactly. For that movie, okay? And we had, I think, Fernando Barrera asked me which remake I would like to see from a German movie, and luckily I have my people in the live chat help me out. There's a movie, Altmetall helped me out, called Lambok, with Moritz Bleibtreu. Roberto Zurao said, I can't think of a German film that has had a US remake. Actually, I think you're right about.
What do you mean a German film that hasn't had a U.S. remake? Come on. Come on, dude. One of my favorite movies of all time, Wim Wenders' Wings of Desire, was remade in the United States as City of Angels with Nicolas Cage and Meg Ryan.
It was from Wim Wenders again, I believe. Oh?
Yeah, that was Wim Wenders. Yeah, that was Wim Wenders' Wings of Desire. By the way, please, Criterion, why hasn't Far Away So Close been put out on Blu-ray? Except in Germany, which I can't. It's not doesn't have English subtitles or whatever. But
now when I think about it, it's the same almost with Michael Haneke's Funny Games.
That was remade too.
Yeah, it's remade too. So Roberto's House, we actually did come up with
Remade almost shot for shot, by the way.
Yeah, exactly, Rob. Then what I told you already about, Rob, Kiki said only German subtitles on the Wong Kar-wai movies. Sorry, okay.
Yeah, well, that fucking sucks.
Yeah, and of course,
give me what I want. I want it. Give it to me.
Limek Ajax brought up, of course, the obvious one, considering remakes, but I didn't want to put that out. He said, of course, Bang Boom Bang needs to get in the US.
Which, by the way, I have a German steelbook of that.
Yeah, exactly, Rob. It would be nice if you checked out the movie for once,
We're gonna do it for Whining About Movies. It's the second movie we're doing for Whining About Movies.
Another movie he mentioned was Soul Kitchen from Fatih Akin, which he would see as a remake. Okay. And of course, Altmetall, my friend from the Black Forest here. Oh yeah, Bang Boom Bang is great. Got the blue. Rob has it too.
So do I.
Exactly. And that was the live chat, Rob, from last week.
Well, we got lots of super chats I want to catch up on from you lovely folks out there who support the channel. I already said that, Norwegian Kryptonian. Kevin asked about, will the film festival and short story contests be restarted by any chance? Well, first of all, here's the thing about the film festival. Everything that was submitted for the film festival went up online. The only thing we didn't do at the film festival is give out awards, which we are going to do when we bring back physical media. But all the film festival movies have been online. Some of them have gone to other film festivals and won awards. We are going to do another film festival. And a lot of people get mad. There's a certain individual that's really pissed, gets mad at me that we didn't give out the awards. And I didn't do that. That's all on me. But all the films that made it in are up on this channel. And if you go, it's the first playlist you see. You can look at the first Imagination Connoisseurs Film Festival. The first Intergalactic Imagination Connoisseurs Film Festival is available. You can watch all the movies. They're all on the channel, except for one, which I was asked to take down because it was going in, which, by the way, is an award winner, too. But and then they've asked about the short story contest. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, we are going to publish a book. It is going to be an anthology of short stories written by you called The Imagination Connoisseurs. We are doing that. We already have received entries into the short story contest. We have not forgotten about those entries. We are going to do that. I'm hoping to start that back up. It just logistically, between finishing Tango Shalom, I just got all my spare time. It got a little tough to manage all of that. But yes, we're going to so what we're going to do is the short story competition. We're going to the premise of it is I made up the phrase imagination connoisseurs, and people have asked, well, what does that mean? And I'm like, well, it's kind of like something that's like pornography. I know it when I see it. So the idea is the book is going to be called The Imagination Connoisseurs. That's the title of the book. And the idea is, what is an imagination connoisseur? So the premise is, you can write any story you want, but the basic gist is, within your story, an idea of what an imagination connoisseur is should be represented. So maybe you tell the story about the first time you as a child read a significant story that meant something to you. Or maybe a parent read a significant story, or maybe you had a Halloween something that happened. It doesn't matter. It's the net is wide and large. So the idea is, what does it mean to be an imagination connoisseur? That's what it's very broad based, and we are going to publish in hardcover a book called The Imagination Connoisseurs that is going to be populated by stories written by you. I've written a story. And that will be in there, but we're going to publish a hardcover book, which, by the way, we are going to crowdfund the book. So we do have an entry fee. It's going to be $25 because people have to read the stories and we have to edit the stories, and it's just a lot of work. So I'm going to pay people to be readers, and people that I know to be readers and edit the stories. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to publish the book, and we're going to crowdfund because it's expensive to publish a book, but we're going to publish a hardcover slip-cased version. There'll also be a digital copy that you can download for your Kindle. But so that's what's going to be. And we've already received some really good entries. There's people whose books or whose stories I want to put in there. So that is the story. That's where we're at with that. So that's pretty cool. So yes. And after I give out the awards, we are going to start the film festival again because that was a lot of fun. Now, a lot of people were pissed because, we didn't give out awards, but the film festival still happened and everybody's films went up and there was some really great, I thought, really great films. So it'll be fun. Danzig, 1979 says, "Great show, gentlemen. Going to introduce my son to." Hey guys, Tallulah, come on. Great show, gentlemen. What are you? I'm here petting you, and you're acting like I'm abusing you. Great show, gentlemen. Going to introduce and look. Okay, and now of course I've got 3 dogs. Okay, would you like to talk, Sebastian? I don't know if you can see Sebastian, but here's Sebastian. He loves to crawl up here and get on my keyboard. Hi there, Sebastian. How are you? Oh, I love this dog. And then of course I got favorite. Yeah, here he comes. Here. Okay, Sebastian. Look at that. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Hello, buddy. Hey, do you want to lick my face? I know he loves to lick my beard. Loves it. Everyone's going, gross, disgusting. Okay, dude, you got to get off the keyboard, bro. But anyway, where were we? This little moppet.
Considering the switches.
Great show, gentlemen. Going to introduce my son to Star Trek 2 in 4K tonight. Con. Also, is there any news on Superman 2 or Superman Returns in 4K? Yes, but I can't share it with you now. There is, all I can say is I have it on good authority that Warner Brothers has begun or is working on another Superman box set. I don't know the details, but I think that they're working on it in some way, shape, or form. I don't know what that's going to be. Have no idea. But they're doing some kind of work. At least that's what I've heard. Jedediah, by the way, I love that your son's going to see Star Trek 2 for the first time. Jedediah Elias says, "I've been thinking about getting into physical media more often. The problem is I'm very much an introvert. Would rather watch something on my computer in my room than use the big screen TV in my living room." Okay, wait a minute. Hang on. Jedediah, you're an introvert, so you'd rather watch a movie in your bedroom on your computer than in your living room, like the next room over. Now, I'm not going to, no judgment here. This is a judgment-free environment. But I don't know if you live alone or live with your parents or whatever. I can understand that, but the bigger the screen, if it's a great projector, go watch it on the big screen, man. But I understand being an introvert, but watching something on your computer, the screen's too small. If you've got a 4K disc, go watch it on that big screen. And by the way, go get a surround sound system and turn it up loud, and you'll scare away the rubes. So if there's anybody else in your family, they'll just turn it up loud, especially like when you watch the Battle of Germania at the beginning of Gladiator, just turn it up that much louder. And when your mom or somebody comes in and goes, it's too loud, like Elizabeth's like, it's too loud. I'm like, is it though? Is it too loud? Or are you just in this room? If you left the room, it wouldn't be so loud. So if you're an introvert, just crank up the volume and be unapologetic about it and drive people away. V says, a long list of anticipated horror coming. John is saying movies is in a drought. If the MC is wrong on and off, then what is happening? I for horror. Well, I don't quite know all that, but V, you are right. Look, there's a lot of movies coming. There's a lot of movies out there. You just got to look for them. You got to go to the theater. A lot of interesting independent stuff. There's Indian cinema. People, you can go see RRR in some theaters still. Go check that out. Check that out. 200-watt studio. 200-watt studio. Dude, you should get a stand-up routine. But I'm happy to be your platform. 200-watt studio says, Doug Pratt knows that Laserdiscs are coming back. Look, man, he's celebrating his roots like I do with this shirt that my friend Cliff Stevenson made for me. So you And 200 Watt Studio, not to be outdone because he's such a goddamn comedian, says, Rob, I heard Kino Lorber is ghosting you on the To Live and Die in LA 4K because it's a soft intervention for your obsessive love of a bad film.
Cancelled.
Come on, man. What a bad film. What are you talking about? 200 Watt Studio, bad film. I don't know what you're talking about, 200 Watt Studio. 200 Watt Studio, I already said Chinatown's being done in 4K by Studio Canal with a modern color grading from Audio. I hope not, because, man, that movie looks great. Roberto Suarez, the great Roberto Suarez, our friend Roberto Suarez, says the new Cenobites in the Hulu movie don't wear leather. Their clothes are sculpted from their flesh. I've heard that.
Ooh.
All good.
Ooh.
I had an idea for that for a movie I was working on about 20 years ago. I love that. Can't wait.
Okay.
Coming up this week. Joel Rolston says, I always turn my speakers whenever I watch a theatrical film or featured series like Andor that I think is worth the experience. It is the only way. It is the only way. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Eucalyptus said, who is your favorite female supernatural character? Who is your favorite female supernatural character? Do you have a favorite female supernatural character, Dieter?
What counts as supernatural in that
I don't know.
That question.
I mean, favorite supernatural character. That's a wide margin. I mean, favorite supernatural character.
Damn.
I know it's tough. I mean,
would have to. So something like Kate Beckinsale in Underworld, is that a supernatural
she'd
character?
be Kate Beckinsale in Supernatural. That's a supernatural character. That's
in the Underworld series. Okay.
I mean, God, come on, look at that ass. You know, look, I just canceled myself. Rob Burnett just objectified a woman in a movie, as opposed to the movie itself that put her in that tight leather. It's like not like the movie didn't make me look and go, see what we think is important. I get it.
Yeah,
just saying. That's not bad. Kate Beckinsale as I think my favorite supernatural character.
I would say she would count as a supernatural.
Yeah, she's yeah, of course she would. Yeah. Okay, if I'm, the first thing that jumped into my mind was Catherine Deneuve, 42-year-old Catherine Deneuve as Marion Blaylock in The Hunger.
Okay.
Come on. If she said to me, she goes, look, I need you to be my companion. You'll be alive for like 300 or 400 years, and we can be together and take showers together every day, whatever you want. But at the end of that time, you're going to turn into a desiccated husk in basically a day, and I'm going to put you in a box and stick you upstairs with all my lovers for the last 10,000 years or whatever. Would that be okay with you? And I'd say yes. Yes, it would be.
As you always do, Rob. Yes.
Yes. The answer is yes. Yes, Miriam, it would be okay. As long as we could go to see Bauhaus concerts and pick up hot people and, drink their blood and incinerate their bodies and live in amazing, fabulous places with awesome clothes. I'm like, of course. Why not? So that's my answer. Marion Blaylock, Catherine Deneuve in The Hunger. And then I'd finally learn French, which Elizabeth would like. So that'd be good.
That would be great, yeah.
Yeah. Video Hunter D says, is there a good release of The Lathe of Heaven from 1980? Well, let me tell you, Video Hunter D, one of my favorite science fiction films of all time. There is only one release of that, which I have on DVD. That is a Grail title. They have lost the negative for that film. Ooh. They don't know where it is. And unfortunately, they had to replace, with a little help from my friends, the original Beatles track when it was. So for those of you who don't know, The Lathe of Heaven was the first Ursula K. Le Guin's novel, was turned into a movie starring Kevin Conroy and why am I drawing a blank on his name? And I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on his name because I'm old and I can't think. Bruce Davidson. And it is about a man in the future who can effectively dream. He can change reality, and his psychiatrist figures out he can do this, and his psychiatrist tries to change the world and make it a better place. And Margaret Avery who the lovely Margaret Avery plays Heather LaLoche. And it's one of my favorite science fiction films ever made. It was made for PBS as one of their first efforts of making original movies based on science fiction classics. And it was only released on DVD. And the DVD is terrible because it was taken off of the 3/4 inch master. And I have it, and it's not good. And they have not been able to find that negative. One day somebody will. But if I could, if I won the lottery, I would pay people to somewhere that negative exists. I'm sure it didn't get thrown away, but it only exists on a lame DVD. That is because it came off a 3/4 inch master, and it had a sound alike of the Beatles song on it. So anyway.
So just like in the Nine Gates, you would hire Johnny Depp to find that master instead of a book.
Yeah, if the negative, if Johnny Depp looked for negatives instead of rare books. Stubble McShave says, would you sacrifice 200 hot toys for a home theater? No. I mean, even right here, even in this room, the power of the sound system in this room is ear splitting. What I want to do is I want to build a dedicated home. 200 hot toys would not get it. A buddy of mine has $1 million home theater with a $500,000 projector and 56 speakers. That's what I want. And it's incredible. It's incredible. But, you have to spend the money. You have to spend the money. So, Stubble, I would not sacrifice my hot toys because I couldn't get what I want. I couldn't even get halfway to the projector. Snake Eyes says, okay. Rob, I am a German print magazine editor. Years ago, a colleague encouraged me to start a series called Trash Corner that focuses on trash movies. Then he said, I created a monster. Do you have the same feeling about Dieter?
Do you create me, Rob?
Okay, here's the thing. I didn't know anything about my favorite German from Saarbrücken, Deutschland. I didn't know anything about him. I just knew he watched my show and he's in Germany, and I'm like, I need this 5-disc set of Rollerball in 4K. Which, by the way, how long we know each other for? COVID happened, and you were very little. Did I know how much I could drain his bank account? I could just make him send me shit, and he would. And no, I didn't know Dieter's tastes were already. He was already the trash panda before I met him. If you notice, he's never showing Criterion Collection discs. Dieter's not showing here's the Agnes Varda collection, or Francois Truffaut's The 400 Blows. He's not showing us these things. That's my department. Dieter.
And that's why we are perfect fit, Rob.
That is right, and that's why people watch the small but dedicated audience that we have watching this show. Yeah. It's important.
That's why we are perfect fit. We have, of course, titles that we do buy.
So the real question, Snake Eyes. I mean, he says he's a German print magazine editor, but doesn't give us the magazine. I mean,
I don't. Okay.
We got to know, man. You got to send us what magazine is it, and why are we not featuring on it?
Put it in the chat.
Just send me a link. I'll put up images. Trash Corner. Let's see it. What are you focusing on? Why isn't Dieter on your site? Well, you got to have a website talking about trash. Come on, man. But so what we got here?
But nice to see.
Sheriff Carl is here.
Yeah.
Sheriff Carl says, "Dude, it's been a long time, Sheriff Carl. The mighty Maiden just laid waste to Seattle Center for the first time in decades. We need more Maiden on Blu-ray. Did you know their first ever sold-out show in the U.S. was in Seattle in 1983? Were you there? Hope you guys are well. Hail Maiden." Yes, I was. I was at that show. That was, by the way, the same year that Return of the Jedi came out.
Peace of Mind? Must be the Peace of Mind.
Yeah, I think it was. And
Power Slave was 84, I believe.
Yeah, so yep. I believe it was.
Should have been the Peace of Mind tour.
Because my first rock show was Kiss in 79 or 80. and it was because I was in junior high school, and that was the I want to say the Dynasty tour. Dynasty tour.
Dynasty tour.
And then because you couldn't grow up. Maiden Eddie was like an iconic horror. He was horror and sci-fi. Sheriff Carl goes on, and he goes on to say, "I can't agree with you more about the demise of Skywalker. That was without a doubt the shittiest experience I've ever had watching a movie in a theater. But of course, I too have it on 4K. I'll get Thor eventually. As Mudhoney says, here comes the sickness. You are right. Yeah. You are right." Justin Toner, our own Justin Toner, says, "Hi, guys. I put in my pre-order of the 4K of Roadhouse from Vinegar Syndrome this week. Awesome. I saw this month they are putting out Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 in 4K. Vinegar Syndrome is killing it lately. Soon I will hope to get Lost Boys and Poltergeist 4Ks. Here they kick ass. Oh, they do. I just want my special edition from Zabby." Stub McShave says, "For some reason, there was always a lot of wear and tear on the best scenes on VHS. Don't know why. Gosh, that fast forward and rewind button, it's a bitch." So now we're all caught up. I think we're all caught up.
Okay. I still have some titles to show.
Well, then, and so do I. Now that
Okay.
Go ahead.
Who goes first? Okay. Some, like you told us, you love German media books. Some German media books. It's like I found out, not always the newest Korean titles that will be putting out. This is a movie, Unstoppable. I hope it's good. No idea. Cat in the back. But I know him, not by name, not really good with the Korean names. But I have seen him in many movies. Let me just see. Do I get his name here somewhere? But he's been in a lot of Korean movies lately. So I hope it's good. Unstoppable. Look at him. He's smiling too, Rob. Okay. Unstoppable. Korean cinema. The next one. Hong Kong from John Woo. It's called Peace Hotel.
Ooh,
Never Die.
That's a cool cover.
With Cho Yun-fat, of course.
Yeah.
But I can't remember seeing this one. So we're looking forward to it. This was the old German cover. Just said never die. So I hope it's good. Peace Hotel from John Woo from 1993 or something like that. Okay. It says here the most successful theatrical release in Hong Kong ever. Okay. The next one, perhaps, Rob, you have seen it. I believe it was on Hulu in the States. I haven't watched it. A movie from Finland, Hatching media book.
No, but I've seen something about that. I've not seen it, but I'll watch that.
I think it's on Hulu in the States.
All right.
So a little bit scary here. So I hope it's good. Here we have some stuff to show. So Hatching. This was the 3 media books. And the last one, like I said, we are perfect fit, Rob. You showed Lost Boys, and then I will show the other one. I will show Poltergeist.
Now, is that the Zavvi? That's the Zavvi version. You got it.
But I didn't get it from Savvy, Rob. This was just Amazon Italy. They did get this one to me, but canceled my Lost Boys.
Okay, I would like you to hold that up again. This is for all the people. This is for all the people that design packaging in the United States. This is how a package. This is how a cover is done right here. This is what the cover is. Now, if you pull out the interior, it has that fucking horrible cover, doesn't it?
The Steelbook has it, Rob, which comes with this, where she gets from the pool. And Rob, I have to say, I know it's not the best, but it looks better in person when you see the
No,
steelbook.
that's not the bad cover. That's actually, I mean, look, that's just somebody trying to be cheeky. I'm
because
not
you
gonna,
don't see the skeletons here.
yeah, I'm
It's
not gonna, I'm not
really
gonna. I mean, that's kind of cool, but it doesn't. Yeah, there, it doesn't serve. But the horrible Poltergeist cover is not there.
no,
Yeah, it's
no,
better.
no.
No, it's better.
So you've got the steelbook inside with
Yeah.
this one, and it really, Rob, when you see it live, it comes through better than
Yeah,
just seeing it
that's not the cover that I
from
object
pictures.
to.
No.
That's not the horrible
And then of
cover.
course we have the comes with a booklet for the movie, and then we got, like we said, the swag in little folder here. We have so it's almost, I would say, the same, considering the Lost Boys set. Got those more lobby
Yeah.
cards from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Rob, when I watched it again, I didn't remember there is actually the scene from that worst cover. Is actually a scene from the movie. I didn't remember it. Where Greg T. Nelson gets back to the house, and I thought, there's the scene from the cover. But considering the ear stuff with Reservoir Dogs, I don't think that is iconic from that movie. That scene.
Yeah. Well, what can you do?
So yeah, lobby cards, booklet, and we got the poster from.
Yeah, which is great. I had that on my wall forever. Not that poster, that poster. Which is, you know.
Two-sided.
Mm-hmm.
Two-sided. So this I got, Rob, but the Lost Boys one got cancelled.
Yeah, mine too.
But
I didn't get mine either.
Yeah, but I got lucky, Rob. I could just find the right time where it was available on Amazon Germany again. But I hope they don't cancel it again.
Mm-hmm.
So Poltergeist, my special edition for this.
A great special edition. I did get 3 more titles. You know, they've been re-releasing. Look, I'm not some steelbook maven, but there are a few things like if they come out in 4K and they're in a steelbook and I don't have them in 4K, if they get re-released, I got Zombieland.
Ooh, nice.
I got I really like this movie. I didn't get the sequel in 4K even though it's out. I did get this steelbook just because I wanted it in 4K. I really like this movie. So I got that.
In the beginning.
Now I didn't get this because Amazon's re-releasing these, but I wanted this 4K just because I like the cover. It's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and it has this on the back. So Amazon has re-released these, and then there's some places that are discounting them. So I did get that, and finally, I was able to get, only because the Marvel steelbooks, I have the other ones. I did get finally the No Way Home steelbook, just because I wanted it. So I was able to pick those up. Those are all 4K, so they go on the shelf. So I did pick those up this week, and yeah, because it wasn't that much. Now, in a shameless act of self-promotion, Scream Factory is having a sale. Shout Factory, Scream Factory, on their horror films. Shocktober, yeah. So they are. I think somehow people can't hear me. I don't know what I've done to my. Hang on, I've done something.
No sound.
Hang on, my input. No,
No sound
I guess
since Poltergeist. Okay. No sound since Poltergeist.
Yeah, I don't know why.
What the hell?
I know, very. It's very strange. Something I did. I don't know if I hit something or I'm looking. Right now, I'm looking. You can't even hear me. Hold on. Let me just go back to this.
Sound has gone. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why. Hold on. Let me figure this out. The sound disappeared. I don't know.
Damn.
Here, you talk, Dieter.
Wait. They can hear me? No.
Yeah, they should be able to hear you.
You can hear me, but not Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get this right in the live chat?
Now, no.
Seems like completely, Rob.
Now I should be back. There was
Rob, volume is really low.
a
No sound from
technical,
Dieter.
technical difficulty. Now you're back, buddy. It was I must have hit the wrong button. But we're back now.
Are we back? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Should I? But I don't think I need to show the poltergeist stuff again.
No, I must have hit a button. Well, look,
okay.
you know what it is? It's like people can read my lips, no new taxes. So we're back. So what I was saying is, yes, I picked up these. Hang on, let me show everybody home. Yeah, I picked up these steelbooks in 4K because Amazon re-released them. So here you go. Sorry for hitting the button that took away our sound, but what I wanted to say in a shameless act of self-promotion was Shout Factory, Scream Factory is having their Shocktober sale. And in their Shocktober sale, do you know what they're selling for $14 on Blu-ray? The Hills Run Red, a horror movie, of course, that I produced in 2008. Dave Parker directed this. We shot this in Bulgaria. So a movie that I actually produced. I'm not just a YouTube pundit. I'm also a movie producer for an 81-minute movie that has 8 hours of special features on it. 8 hours. It is the most obnoxious and perhaps most self-indulgent group of special features you will ever see. And one day, Dieter, I have one. I've signed it. I actually have a Dieter Bastian pile right over there. All the discs I bought for you. I'm going to send them to you soon. When I see Dave Parker in person, I'm going to send them to you. I promise. I swear to God. So,
because I want to see that horror gem.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah. So Stub McShave with a lot of wear and tear on the VHS scenes. What were you doing? You live in Sweden. I Am Curious Yellow. You don't have to fast forward DVDs or VHS tapes. Come on, you can see what you want in Sweden. Joel Rolston says, if studios truly want to profit from their streaming shows, should they release them on Blu-ray like Netflix did with Stranger Things, Daredevil, etc.? Well, yes, but here's the problem. As we talk about, physical media is plummeting, and why would you buy... Here's the thing. Why would you buy and look, we buy discs, but why would you buy a TV series that's already part of... Now it's been moved over to Disney Plus. Now, I would say buy it if there's special features, and it's better than streaming. Now, streaming is still compressed and all that, but it's a tough call.
Yeah.
And the problem is the amount of people, like make no mistake, streaming is going this way, physical media is going the other way. So, what are you going to do?
But we're still here.
Yes. V says, screen RRR in so many films. Good. I like horror still and seen not so great films. I have Kef speakers in Atmos surround, Epsom 4K projector, Denon, Denon AV, Panasonic DP UB900. That is all. I love it. Yeah, well, that's a good system that you got there, buddy. Kef speakers in Atmos surround. I'm curious, how many speakers do you have? So 5.1 is not Atmos. My system here in the Robservatory is 7.1. So I have a 5.1 surround sound system with Atmos speakers. I've got a Klipsch system, and the Atmos. My front, left, and right front speakers have Atmos. So and what's really interesting, they're huge speakers. They're so heavy. The Atmos, so there's two inputs into my amplifier or my preamp or whatever, which is interesting. So you've got the regular speakers, and then I have a 14-inch sub. That's my 0.1, and the surround speakers are mounted on the up top up here. And you will be getting, in the next couple weeks, I'm going to be doing a whole video of the new Robservatory because it's going to be done. But anyway, Dietz, I know you were on a holiday. Yeah. It's probably late for... What time is it in Germany right now?
It's almost 11 p.m.
Oh. So what do you do on a Sunday night at 11 p.m.? Do you head out to the bars? You go pick up some chicks or what?
No, I will get the lights down, pack all things together, and winding down my Sunday after we
So
did
so
our
do you
show.
are you going to watch another movie?
No, I would, but I probably don't think
Don't
I
tell me
can
you're going to
make
go
it
to don't tell me you're going to go to
make
bed.
it through.
You're not going to go to bed.
Okay,
Come
okay.
on, dude.
I
It's a
will probably because I worked hard, for the show. I will probably eat something after our show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. That's fine. All right. That's good. Appreciate it.
I will put the lights down. See what the views are doing. If there are some comments, questions to answer already. And looking forward to what comes next week for us.
Well, it's funny.
Talking about
I'm curious. To be honest, I haven't even looked at what comes next
Yeah.
week. Should I take a little preview and see what comes next week? Would you like to know? At least domestically.
Yeah.
What Oh, dude. Bram Stoker's Dracula in 4K Steelbook.
Oh, nice.
Fright
But it
Night.
always takes a little longer to get to me.
Yeah, Fright Night in 4K comes out.
Oh, nice.
Scream 2 in 4K comes out. The Halloween 4K collection comes out. Army of Darkness in 4K comes out. Night of the Living Dead in 4K comes out next week. Star Trek Picard Season 2 in a limited edition steelbook, which I actually am going to drown in my swimming pool. Actually, I'm not going to buy that, but just so you know. Lost Highway in 4K comes out.
Ooh,
and To
nice.
Kill a Mockingbird in 4K comes out. My God, what a collection. Wow, next week's a big week, bro. There's a lot of great stuff, a lot of horror stuff, and that's just the big stuff. A lot of other things. Sex and Lucia is finally coming out, the unrated director's edition, which that's always good for a little bit of a wank. Pink Floyd The Animals, the unlimited deluxe edition, comes out on Blu-ray. An import of Lolita. Wait a minute. An import of Lolita comes out. Oh, that's from Imprint. That's coming out. That's the Jeremy Irons version. So that's cool. Yeah. So a lot of good stuff.
Nice.
League of Super Pets
Still
comes
kicking.
out.
That's a good medium.
The Replacement Killers. I think that's a re-release, but Mill Creek's putting out The Replacement Killers with Chow Yun-Fat and Mira Sorvino as a Mill Creek retro VHS collection.
Yeah.
That's cool. So that's coming out. Of course, Peacemaker is coming out. So, hey, good stuff is coming, Dieter. Still got stuff to buy.
Always. Exactly. Still crashing the bank account.
I know, right? Well, anyway, I guess this brings us to the end of our show. I want to first of all thank everybody who supports this channel via super chats and tips. Thank you so much. I want to thank, I think I have caught up with everybody. I want to thank our moderators. Lord Toth was here. Justin Toner was here. Tom Jr. Jackson was here. He is a goof person. So thank you, boys, for being here. Always great to have you. And, Tom Jr. Jackson has his own YouTube channel now. He's reviewing stuff on it. He's doing all kinds of things. So check out Tom Jr. Jackson's YouTube channel. If you can, which is very cool. And, and all that. If you don't have surround sound, look into that. Get it. It'll change your life. Come on,
Get it. Exactly.
Do you have anything you want to sign off on? Any final commentary, final words of wisdom?
Final words of wisdom. Really looking forward to new Hellraiser movie. If it's just as good as Prey was, then 2 times big win for Hulu.
And we're 6 days away, so that will have come out before next week. We'll talk about that on the next show.
Exactly. And at next week, nothing from the new TV shows will end next week, but after.
We got House of the Dragon episode 7 starting tonight.
7, okay.
We've got Rings of Power episode 7.
Episode 7.
We got
She-Hulk
Andor episode 5.
Okay.
She-Hulk episode 8. Yeah.
So the week after, some shows will end, especially for me. on Apple TV, Rob. Totally still recommended. Great third season at the moment. And the third season will be the last of C on Apple TV.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah. But if it come on, Rob. C is great. C is great.
Okay.
And yeah, it is. And if they finish strong now with the third season, I will be happy.
What's
that
good?
They don't prolong the series for an eternity. So from my end, jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch zu hören hast. Alles, was du tun musst, ist zuhören.
Every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear, and all you have to do is listen. And with that, we would say to all of you, there's always more movies to buy.
Exactly.
And we are out.